Jerk! Let's go! Cam's a shit kicker, 2 bombs in the lead. Soul Dragon Cougar's no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go.
Welcome into the Candlestick Podcast, episode number
344, baby. Yoink, let's go. Happy Memorial Day. Love all y'all. What's up? Hopefully you guys had a good weekend and you weren't that boater down at the Lake of the Ozarks that ruined his $1 million boat. Ran all over the fucking place, right up on the goddamn ledge, almost hit a goddamn house.
Who was that?
Don't know.
It was a yacht.
It's $1 million boat. All right, at least 700.
It's a waste of money.
4 fucking monsters on the back of that, outboards, and he ran it right up to some bitch. Man!
Wasting money.
What? What?
$1 million boat.
If you got money, you want to have a boat, man. You want to be in control. You can get a captain if you want. I don't like being on other people's boats and I'm stuck out there with them. I like to be in control.
How many rich people
I like to be in
do
control.
you see that are having financial problems?
What?
How many rich people are having financial problems?
Dude, rich people go through ups and downs just like everybody else, Andy. Wealthy people go through ups and downs just like everybody else. When you have a status, what you are doing, and your wife and your kids and your whole family is used to this, hey, look, this is what we do. Just like when you play in the NHL for a long time and all of a sudden you retire, you're like, wait, I'm not getting these big old paychecks anymore. You get used to that lifestyle and all of a sudden you lose a bunch of coin. You really got to set back a little bit and live in the real world. So yeah, everybody goes through that, man.
You know, when you...
Are you one of those guys like rich people are bad? And you know, is that one of you?
No.
Like,
What?
who are you kidding?
What do you mean?
You know how people are like, I hate people that have money. No,
No.
those are the people that
No.
run the world
But I feel like...
and hire people.
I feel like some rich people, that's how you get yourself in some financial trouble when you buy $1 million boats. Unless you really...
If you're, dude,
Well,
You got-
there's different levels.
you know, you buy that thing, you don't get a brand new one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you buy that thing, you could sell it if you don't put a ton of hours on it for a lot, man. They hold their value, you know. But if you had money, that's the goddamn first thing I'm getting. That's the first thing I did
$1
get was a
million
house and
boat.
house and a boat for
Would
my
you
little
rather
bubble.
have a sick-ass house and an average boat or a average house and a sick-ass boat?
Big house, average boat.
Okay.
Goddamn right.
Okay.
Goddamn
Yeah.
right. A boat's a boat. I just want to
It's
be on
a
the water,
very
baby.
confident answer from Canada.
Yeah, I want a badass house, and I could always upgrade the boat, but you want your house to be the best thing you got. You're in that more than anything.
Mhm.
You know, boats come and go, you get new ones, whatever, but
Yeah.
you get a badass
Woo,
lake house.
was I barbecuing this weekend?
Oh, I bet that was good.
I mean, listen, you know how good I've gotten at it? That's the thing. Like, where I honestly, and I know you're going to think, you're going to get mad about this and think but I am so close being ready for competitions. What?
What'd you make?
Steak.
How'd you make it?
So-
Go ahead. But don't waste too many people's time.
No,
Like, don't,
okay,
because
it's
you're
not
very
wasting.
boring when
No,
you
no,
tell stories.
no.
You're a bad storyteller.
No, I'm not.
Really, really bad.
No, I'm not.
So let's go.
Okay.
Get going.
Dude, you
God,
got
dang, it's fucking Memorial Day.
Okay.
I got shit to do
All right,
too.
You can't like set it
Go.
up like that
Go.
and then
Just go.
ask me to tell the story.
Go.
Okay. And then like tell them I'm a bad storyteller and all
Terrible
that. Like, that's
storyteller.
not-
You drag on. You go from here to go.
Then, because that makes people think
Jesus
before I even tell the
Christ.
story, they think it's going to be a bad story.
go.
So, I had a T-bone. Now I've got a cowboy ribeye that I took out of the freezer last night that I've got waiting for me to make today because I've been barbecuing every single day. But you know, it was very basic, Cam. First off, I'm putting the Traeger at 500. I am getting it so damn hot in there. And I realize that's the best way for my steak. Now, it was a little well done, a little bit. But it was so damn good, Cam. So what I do is I put some of this Quebec seasoning on it.
What do you put on there first?
The Quebec seasoning.
So how do you take your steak out? So when you take it
I
out,
take
you
it
just-
out of the
and then what?
butcher paper.
and then what?
I clean up the blood that gets on the counter and stuff
You
like
wipe
that.
it down,
Yeah.
dry it off.
Dry it off.
Dry it off a little bit. Then what do you do?
Instinctually, I do
Then
that.
what
'cause
do
I
you
didn't
do?
know you were supposed to do that, but I did it.
Then what do you do?
So then I put some seasoning on there. I put some...
Always put some olive oil on that first.
I
Let
know,
that
I didn't
stick,
do the
baby.
olive
Let the
oil.
stick on
Didn't
there.
do the
It's just,
olive
and
oil.
it's easier when you
Yeah.
put it on the grill.
I
No
know.
big deal.
I know.
All good.
I know. I didn't do
You're
that.
learning.
I know I am. I really
He's
am.
48 years old. He's
And-
learning.
And I'm enjoying it.
good. Actually, I'm proud of you
Yeah.
because it's all about you.
Mhm.
I don't give a shit if you
Yeah.
eat fucking kale all goddamn day.
Uh-huh.
It's about Ty.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So we share the steak.
Good.
Yeah.
It's a
he
huge
can't-
steak.
he
You
can't
can't
eat
eat
the
that
whole
whole damn thing. No,
I,
no, no.
I could. I'm like attacking the bone cam. Like it's been so long.
Never
since
seen
I've-
him eat anything.
So it's been so long since I've been eating steak that I am just. Laurie's like, "Oh my god, what is going on with you?"
Are you
I'm
getting
picking
horny?
up the bone and I'm just attacking.
Good.
it.
That's what I.
She's like,
get
"Oh
that.
my god, I wish I could just put."
Get
I'm
that.
like, "No,
You're-
we're gonna come
you're
in
a
slow with this.
Tyrannosaurus.
We're gonna come in slow
Yeah,
with this."
baby.
But I
Get
put
that.
the Quebec seasoning on there, and then after a good amount of time, I'll brush it with a little barbecue sauce while it's already in there. I brushed it with some barbecue sauce, but I had some.
Why are you putting barbecue sauce on steak?
Because I was
You
doing
don't
it,
do that.
Because I was doing it with.
It's not a pork steak.
I know, but I was.
It's a steak. You got to taste the meat. Now
I
hold on a
just-
second.
No. Let
You
me
don't
finish.
do
Let
that,
me finish,
dude.
because I did it with the. I was doing it with the burgers.
It's not
and with
ribs.
the chicken
That's
thighs.
fine,
So I
but
just
not
put a
steak.
little bit on there because
It's okay, but I just say
Yeah.
you want to taste the meat, and if you want
I know.
A1 sauce or something, fine.
Yeah,
But all
mine
you do is
doesn't
put.
even need it.
That's what, exactly.
Yeah,
That's when you
doesn't
know
even
you have
need
a
it.
goddamn good one. Did
Yeah.
you sear it?
So I didn't do that afterwards
Okay.
because I kept it on so long. It's seared on its own.
No, it wouldn't
not the
sear
same.
that. No, it's
It's
you
not
need open
because
flames.
the
so-
last steaks I've been making, I've been searing
Okay.
on the stove. Although the smoke alarm goes off
Oh
in my
god,
house.
just
every
have a little
damn time.
charcoal, dude. You can just get a little charcoal grill, dude. Easy, boom.
Does the smoke alarm go off in your house?
I do not cook steaks in my house.
You
Are you
don't?
out of your god?
Why?
Because it stinks up the place. I don't care how big your house is, man. You put a fat ass steak on there and even sear on each side. Like, I hate it. It gets grease everywhere. You
I
walk
know,
by
I
everywhere.
know.
You're slipping and falling.
Yeah.
No.
I don't like
Just
that
keep
either.
that outside, baby.
I know. So anyway,
You
some Quebec seasoning, a little bit of butter.
You heard that already. What else?
Some Traeger steak seasoning, which is
Yeah, that's where you get. That's
fantastic.
where the crust
And
comes
I put
from.
a bunch of that on there.
You always want good pepper on
Kim, I
there.
probably kept it at 500 degrees. I probably cooked it for almost 30 minutes
That's a long time.
on each side.
That's a long.
No, 30
on
minutes
each-
total.
That's a long time.
30 minutes total.
Long time. Do you put a thermometer in there?
Oh yeah, I try to get it to about 140, 150.
Always take it off way early and let it rest, because when it rests, it's still cooking.
I know it is.
So
I
good for
know it
you.
is.
I'm actually
Yeah.
proud of you.
I'm getting really good
proud of
at
you,
it.
man. Good
the
for you.
chicken thighs I kept on. I cooked those at 500 as well, so they were a little overcooked, but
You could. You
Everybody
don't have to
liked
cook those on 500, but good for you.
everybody liked them, and the burgers were unbelievable.
Everybody liked them. He said.
Everybody loved them. So now I got everybody coming over tonight because I'm a big barbecuer, and I'm grilling for everybody at the house this evening too.
Good, man. Sometimes you got to do that, man. I was grilling. I'm gonna grill today too. I'm meeting Kate at the Darebergs right after this. If we ever get out of here, I was hoping Andy was going to be late today, because he
I
usually
came
is.
in right on time today.
But I got to give a shout out too, because I actually did yard work.
Oh, good.
Yard work, dang it. I was cutting things up like this, blah,
Mhm.
digging out things. We pimped out our front yard. We got all this stuff down to the
Never
the front
called
of
me
the house.
back.
Don't care about
Never
that. I'm
called
working.
Me, never called me back.
I got to give a shout out to Jose,
It's my guy.
Hector,
It's my guy.
Diego,
Mhm.
Juan.
Sebastian.
That's not a Mexican
No,
name.
he goes by
I'm
both
talking.
names.
I'm talking about
He goes by
Mexicans.
San Diego.
I'm talking to the Mexicans.
Santiago or Sebastian.
Can't I
depending
give
on-
Mexicans a shout out?
Sure.
You always have to just sway everything away from the African Americans to the Mexicans. I'm giving the Mexicans a shout out right now. All y'all out there. I did that work with my buddies. They came over and helped me out with it. I was fucking exhausted. I was exhausted. I got sunburn out the ass. My back's all like, I'm like, these guys do this for 8, 9, 10 hours a day. I couldn't live in the real world. I am a fancy lad pussy.
Mm.
You don't even know what a fucking shovel is. You'd be fucked no matter what. But God, digging out these plants, I had to dig out. This old lady had our house beforehand. They were ugly. We just did so much yard work. It looked so damn good.
Who's
But
coming over to help you do it?
because I got good buddies, dude.
Why? You,
I don't
you
have-
need help for that?
God, yeah, they got all. Yes, I needed help backing everything in.
What
We
were
got-
you doing?
I was taking all this stuff out. We take it to my buddy's house and
Take
we dump
what?
all the fucking tree limbs and all this stuff that we did. We just manicured the front of our house.
Mhm.
So we didn't have to pay anybody to do it. I sucked it up
Yeah.
and I dug out all these plants where you have to get every single root and they're really heavy. You got to carry them out to my truck. Then we take my truck to my buddy's house who has a huge bonfire and we just dump all that shit.
Yeah,
So it
okay.
makes it easy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I just give a lot of respect, man, for those guys that do the hard work.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I give them so much respect.
Yeah.
There's no way I'd be able to do that in real life.
No.
Mm-mm.
They work their ass
They
off.
work their fucking ass off, dude.
I know, and they're really good at it.
Construction workers, concrete workers, roofers, all those guys. I put all you guys in the same category.
Mhm.
It's hardcore work.
You know what I did?
I never done that in my life. Your hands are so goddamn. Let me see those goddamn hands.
Look,
Soft as
Ca-
shit.
Calixes
They're
of
cute
them.
hands, actually. They're just little and cute.
Hey,
We
do you-
couldn't handle.
Do you
that.
know what I did? Because of the tornado, and because there were tree branches everywhere, I picked up a shit ton of tree branches,
Good.
and I
Put 'em in the fire.
restacked my firewood.
By the house? Not too close to the house.
No, I keep
it
my
away.
firewood way
Keep it
in the
up. There
back.
you go. And covered it up.
It's
Covered it up.
probably 3/4 of an acre.
You don't want dirty firewood either,
behind
so
the
make sure
house.
that it's covered from the rain.
I don't cover it.
I would cover it because
No, you
It's-
should cover it.
no, yeah, I know. Because
know.
then the smoke's gross when you're out there with the
I
kids and
know.
stuff.
But like I had fires
So-
going all weekend long.
Good.
I
Burn
mean,
all that shit up.
I just burned the shit out of some firewood. So I had to
Do-
restack it because it kind of got moved around.
Can
a
I
little
just say
bit
something
'cause
real
of the
quick?
tree that fell on top of it. Yeah. For
Speaking
my-
of tornadoes, I
Mhm.
was right on they, them, the woman, I guess, as a woman.
God, the person in charge.
They, them, that was figuring out more pronouns instead of turning the fucking siren button on. That was a
her
true
job.
story.
Did she get fired or just suspended?
She's getting paid. They all suck down there. They don't care about you. How the hell do you not know when the sirens are going on? You don't have the sirens ready?
Is that manually turned on?
I mean, there's so many things. Like, it's the easiest. It's the number one thing that you have to have ready. The number one thing. We've been having storms out the fucking ass. No sirens downtown for those poor people in brick houses. Get out of here.
I took a
They,
drive
them.
down there.
No, you didn't. Sunquist did.
No.
See, Andy saw
What
the
are you
Blues.
talking about?
Oscar Sunquist and some of the Blues went down there and really helped
Yeah,
out.
but I didn't get out of the car.
I know you didn't.
I took a drive to go see.
In North County?
Oh yeah, I took my whole family. I wanted to go see all the devastation, like just to see how badly it was rocked down there, because I heard it was terrible.
And you didn't help them? That's really
Well,
cool
there
of
was
you.
no-
Were you looking from the inside with your car door locked, seeing all these poor people have no homes anymore and just driving by? Let's go quicker.
No.
You're mocking them.
Oh my God! No, I'm not, dude. I wanted to go see how bad the devastation was that rocked the neighborhoods over there, and it was worse than I could have ever imagined.
And you didn't help?
I talked to
Interesting.
some people.
Oh, you did? What'd you say to them? Good luck in life. Good luck next time.
No, dude, that's not what I said. I mean, you're making it out to be
You're
that I
starting to make me uncomfortable again.
Why? I just wanted to
Because-
take a drive just north of Chase Park Plaza, just right down
North of
Kings
Chase.
Highway.
That's what you meant when you're going down the hood, man. That's not the hood, baby.
Oh, wait,
Why don't you go down where the real EF3 hit, homie?
time out, dude. Did you see Forest Park?
No, I know. But that's not down.
It's right there, dude.
Okay. I thought you meant you went to where the real
Do
destruction
you know
was.
what north? That's North St. Louis. You go way north of
That's where it got
Chase
rocked.
Park Plaza. I'm at the corner of Martin Luther King and Cass, baby.
Anytime you're by Martin Luther King Boulevard, you're in a jam. You're right.
So
You're
like,
jam. That's
I'm way-
you in a
you go way down
any
there.
city with Martin Luther King.
It's like I
baby.
tried to explain to Cam the other day. He's like, "Oh, it's not that." I'm like, "Dude, we're talking about
No,
St.
but
Louis,
you
dude. St. Louis is
exaggerate.
bad,
It's bad,
dude.
dude.
Like, I'm
Andy,
sorry.
I'm
man.
gonna apologize for
Yeah,
that,
I was talking about another area that I'm like, where I take my kids to work out,
which I like, by the way. I like that.
and
That's
it's-
cool,
it's-
hardcore gym.
Yeah, hell
Good
yeah,
for you.
dude. You should all these.
They need to go
East
see
St.
that.
East St. Louis football players.
Let them go in
dude.
there and see that.
I was
You
talking
damn
to this
right.
kid from East St. Louis football. He's got like
Damn right.
offers everywhere. 6'6".
Let them go in there. Not
shit
a fancy
kicker.
lad, little Lifetime
No.
in Clayton.
No,
No, go in
no.
where the shit
I
kickers
take him
are,
to
baby.
the hood, dude.
Yeah.
And you know who else goes to the hood to go work out? Because I don't know if he actually goes there, but he uses the same trainer and the trainer. But like Matthew and Brady use the same guy.
Yeah. They ain't going in there, but they use the same
I
guy.
think they bring him out to
Yeah.
the track
Yeah.
and they do
Yeah,
outside
it's
because it's
summer-
summertime when
Yep.
when they're in town and they're training with him. My kids are training with him in the winter, man. But I take them flat out to the gym, dude, and it's like all hardcore track, football, basketball players.
Good. They need to see
And
that.
then there's a bunch of soccer players. That's how I heard about it too. Because Jamal Mayers, man, his daughters train with them
Cool.
too. So, you know.
One other thing, and we'll get into some hockey.
but
There's-
Cam was like, "It's not that." I'm like, "Dude, it's
No,
St. Louis.
I
homeboy.
just-
like everywhere you go."
Do you ever
like,
apologize when you're wrong? No. I was wrong
Okay,
on that.
good.
I'm giving you credit for
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
100,000%.
Okay, good.
Don't be in a fancy lad shit.
No.
Get to Hardcoreville.
Hell yeah.
They need to see
Yeah,
that.
he's cool as shit. Johnny Johnson, I'll give him a shout out.
Johnny Johnson, what's up, baby? I like that name too. You know what's been pissing me off, especially on Memorial Day weekend, out yonder by me? I complain a lot about it,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody died.
Oh God.
What was it?
Hold on. What do you mean somebody died?
Somebody died. What do I bitch about?
Don't people die all the time?
No. What do I bitch about out yonder by me
Mhm.
on those windy roads, Andy?
The cyclist.
The cyclists. Somebody got caught in Fox Creek.
A
Boom.
cyclist.
Yep. These sons of bitches were out on Friday. They're out on Friday. Everybody's trying to get work done. On a Friday before Memorial Day weekend, I remember my mommy and daddy, before we went to the Lake of the Ozarks, my dad had to work his ass off at 3 o'clock in the morning, taking that goddamn tar truck all over South County and all over out by us and da-da-da-da. everywhere, and you had to get on the job site. Friday was chaos for
It's a
construction workers.
Hoosier Lake.
Well, I wouldn't. It's too much. It's too much. You're absolutely. I like Table Rock more, but I just remember driving on Friday. There's trucks everywhere. Guys are just trying to finish the job so they could take their kids after working their fucking ass off all week. And these cyclists, Andy, they are everywhere. They're everywhere on a Friday, not on Memorial Day, whatever. That's still shady. On these windy ass roads, the most windy roads you could possibly imagine. Even driving, I'm slowing down. Like, God, there's big trucks coming. Like, blah! They're stuck with huge, concrete trucks to big trucks of mulch in the back where the ass is hanging out and it's sliding and all these turns. And these cyclists are everywhere, slowing shit down, causing accidents, and somebody died, man. It is, I don't understand you. If somebody could explain to me why these cyclists go on these dangerous, dangerous roads, it's unbelievable. And not to mention, they always have their wife last, meaning she's going to die first.
What do you mean? You don't know if it's the wife?
It's the women in the back. Why? Well, I guess they can't keep up, but they're the ones going to get hit. Whenever they're all on the line together, they're the ones that are going to get hit before anybody.
She's probably got a responsibility from being last. She's communicating to the people up to the front.
I don't understand.
They're part of the road, Cam.
I don't understand you. I don't get it. If you did that,
I feel bad for this family.
If Andy did that with his kids and Lori, I would smack you around. It is way too dangerous.
Okay, well, I feel
they drive me nuts.
I feel terrible for this family, first off, because you
gotta
respect the cyclists, dude. They're part of the road. If you've ever lived in a high cycling community, which I have,
fuck you. Fuck them. I don't give a shit. I'm wound up today, baby.
They died. They died.
You are rolling the dice.
I was wound
every
up
single
before
time
I got here because my kids are home. It's like I'm not looking forward to summer vacation.
Is your house trash?
Today it is.
Isn't that a horrible feeling when you go work and you come home and the house is
Dude.
Put your foot down. Put your foot down. Chloe, you got the basement. Ty, you got this. Ivy, you got this. Now get going.
So
can't do that? Is that wrong to do that?
Well, no, that's basically.
Put your foot down. You don't deserve that. You work your ass off, Andy.
Yeah.
I chirp you more than anybody chirps anybody on any podcast in the world, but you work your ass off. That's unacceptable.
So I don't deserve to have like shit everywhere.
No, you need to deserve like the house is smelling like goddamn candles, baby. Vanilla. So you're in a happy ass mood so you get more work done. Andy's the best dad and mom in the league.
Dude, you can't say that. That's disrespectful to Laurie, though.
You're a good mom and dad. Who cares? She's a good mom. You're both. It's great. It's a compliment.
What makes me the mom?
Doing everything. Taking kids everywhere, doing this, doing that. You just do a little bit of everything. I know. But there's so much going on that you have to be a mom and a dad.
No big deal. Hear this.
No big deal. She shouldn't be listening to this. It's actually a compliment. Don't take it bad. It's all good, baby. Don't take offense to that. You got 2 awards.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. 2.
2's better than 1.
Mother's Day and Father's Day. You didn't ask me what I got for Mother's Day.
He got to clean the kitchen.
Oh, I had a great Mother's Day.
But anyway, man.
Did I just hate... I don't want to turn into that parent, though. You know what I mean? That's like how my house was growing up.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Clean it up.
Yeah, man. You don't dirty... Dude, that's
Every
why...
Saturday morning, that vacuum cleaner
Could we make more money?
I couldn't sleep.
Could Kate and I make more money as a couple? Certainly. Could Kate work 9 to 5 at a dentist somewhere, somebody hire that I can make phone calls? 100%. And probably help out and probably have benefit, whatever the case is. But you know what I like? I'm going to come home and the house is fucking spotless. Everything's organized.
Well, you don't
My
have,
clothes
you don't have
are
kids.
No kids, nothing. Everything's organized. I have food, everything, everything's done. It's such a damn good feeling, man. It really, really is. I know that's impossible all the time with different families and stuff like that. But in reality, like when you
controlling over your wife like that?
She runs my show too, dude. Are you kidding? She runs my
Cam's
shit.
like
shit.
He's like, leave it to Beaver.
Do you think I get invited to go to places, man, and I don't do it.
Does she wear an apron?
No, but she dresses sexy.
Around the house when she's cleaning?
Yeah. God, yeah. You know?
What do you mean?
She'll have like a thing, you know, and with socks rolled all the way up. She looks
God.
good.
When she's cleaning the house?
Sure. You know.
Do you wear shoes in the house?
Yeah, dude. I do what the hell I want.
Your house is...
I smoke dope in the goddamn house, baby. I don't care, you know? But I get invited to all this kind of stuff, and I say no because it put Kate in a jam. Like me going on to Vegas with my buddies on a jet. And I'm like, I can't do that to her.
You know, I did that.
I can't do that
and
to
I
her.
brought Laurie with us.
And you guys could chirp me all you want.
So I brought Laurie with us.
With a guy's trip?
Yeah. I didn't know it was a guy's trip.
Jesus.
And it was on, you just messed up my
Jesus.
jersey.
Yeah, but it's
So
more about.
I was on a PJ, and the guy who owns the jet was like, absolutely no problem, bring her. So I bring her.
And she's the only woman.
The only woman.
You better figure things out.
And
the guys are all like, "What?"
Oh yeah, somebody said something to me.
Because
he's like, dude, you brought your wife on a guy's trip.
Oh, how embarrassed were you? Were you like, son of a bitch?
God damn, I didn't know. No one told me.
And people are like, who cares about that? Settle down. You're on hanging out with the guys. Your conversations are completely different if there's no women around. Dude, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? 100%.
So I was respectful to them. Like when we got to Vegas, her and I just kind of did our own thing.
Yeah, but they want to hang out with you.
I know.
So then, like, what's the point of you going? So this guy flies you all the way down.
We went to a Golden Knights game
You just
together.
took advantage of this guy. You took advantage of this guy. This poor guy's like, I just want to hang out with Andy. And then you bring your wife, and then he pays for everything, and you guys go hang out and don't even hang out with the group. Like, that's stupid.
We went to the Knights game together. We went to dinner together. We did a lot of things together. They loved her, actually.
Of course they do. She's awesome.
Yeah, they loved having her around.
Like, still,
she fit in. It was great.
She does.
But,
she's good at that stuff.
And listen, if certain guys want to do certain shit, they want to go party, they want to go to a strip club, they want to go, they want to go they want to go pay for a girl, whatever.
But they like to talk about it.
They go do that on their own anyway.
You still was hindering the way they moved about, and they thought they were.
If they want to do Vegas things,
but they're still like they're still saying the same.
Well,
hotel.
dude, I didn't know. I didn't know it was
you
like
should have asked,
set
Andy.
up like that.
You should have asked. You should have.
It wasn't like, hey, do you want to go on a guy's trip to Vegas? I said. He goes, do you want to come to Vegas? I said, sure. I go, can I bring the wife? He goes, absolutely. That was all.
Okay, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because she wanted to go out of town too to Vegas.
Of course she did. You guys go out of town a lot, man. There is a documentary I'm going to watch, though.
What's it on?
About that Ocean Gate. Remember the submarine we talked about?
Yes. The rich
that
guy?
Dipshit. All those wealthy guys. Like, I'm going to go see the Titanic with my family.
Yeah,
in this, school bus.
In a vessel.
In a fucking school bus with no tires on, with a PS1 controller that's controlling everything, sitting on, like, fucking concrete or whatever the fuck is steel. And you're going to go down and see the Titanic?
And they never were seen again.
No, they imploded, man. So now there's a documentary.
What does that mean?
They imploded. The pressure implodes it. It's not like bam. It goes one little leak goes. You're dead.
Just like that.
Just like that. Boom.
No,
Boom.
no,
no
suffering.
They turned into dust.
No suffering.
No suffering. None.
Positive.
Yeah, this is the way it is. They were so deep, but it's just such a weird.
Were they
thing.
not warned about that?
Of course they were. There were so many things that he didn't. He was so warned about so many different things. I can't wait to watch the documentary now. So that's coming out on Netflix.
This just happened within the last 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, 12 to 18 months. Yep. I
And
remember
they
talking about it on my radio
have
show.
A documentary about it. We
Of
talk about
course.
it on here.
Damn right we did. It's a big deal. I used to because
I
it
had
went
a
missing
lot
for
of
20
information
days.
on that story.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact,
It was
I remember.
awesome. It was not awesome. It was
Oh my God.
unbelievable.
Cam thinks it's awesome that the cyclist got killed. He thinks it's
No.
awesome that these guys got killed.
No, I
What's
hate
wrong
them.
with you?
It's an
Don't hate the cyclists.
It's an unbelievable. You don't like the Mexicans or African Americans.
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. I don't think it's awesome. I think it's unbelievable.
Why don't I
Because
like the
I was
Mexicans
pumping their
or
tires up, and you brought it about yourself, and then
About
you bring
what?
about the tornado, and I worry about them.
Just because I went and visited the neighborhoods?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Not all of them.
I drove down and saw the destruction.
Anyway, this is going to be a cool documentary. I'm excited to see what this dipshit was all about and how many warnings he didn't go through the right protocol. I mean, there was just a lot of weird stuff.
No,
that
we're
went
gonna
down.
have to look
So,
into that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to look into that.
So anyway, a lot of stuff going on, man.
Can I just say something real quick? Because
Before we get into
I do want to
Team
talk
USA?
about Caitlyn real quick because more women are after her now. But this is a more of a competitive rivalry that's brewing right now with Ryan Howard, who was a former first overall pick as well. They actually played together on the U19 USA team. She's like a legit shit kicker. Played at Kentucky, and her and Caitlyn had a little bit of a rivalry in college too. But now they're going at it. But then they get along and they're friends after the game. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan Howard isn't running to the media, isn't going crazy and whatever. A lot of other people are.
Ryan.
I think it's Ryan.
Oh. Come on, let's go.
RHYNE.
Come on, let's go.
But the way she's treating Caitlyn, dude, it's just. Caitlyn should just quit the WNBA today. She should quit. She should start her own league or go make money doing something else, man.
Why? Why not just keep dominating these fools and making them look stupid and laugh in their face and have everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, the majority, on your side? Why not just keep running their show?
Did you see what happened to BG over the weekend?
I know, yelling at everybody.
And she said that apparently the lip readers are saying that she made like a racial comment.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Do you think
white girl,
she's fucking white girls or something?
She probably is thinking that, but I looked at that.
Say that.
Listen, do I like BG getting swapped out for the Merchant of Death?
Great trade.
Who knows what he's doing right now? Do I like BG? Do I think BG? I don't know what the hell to think of her.
Mm-hmm.
I keep seeing that video popping up of her with no shirt on playing basketball in her backyard. Holy macatoli.
That's AI.
What is that
That's
all
AI.
about? I don't know. Anyway.
What are you trying to say?
But
what are you trying to say about the shirt off?
I'm just saying, when I saw that, if somebody had done that to me, they could make out so many different things. And if they fucking said I said something racist or whatnot, I'd be like, holy shit, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So she could have said trash call. She could have said a bunch of different things. I'm not buying into that.
So then she starts doing a post-game interview. And I was expecting a very classy interview. And she walked away and started screaming at the refs.
I know.
So I think a lot of these other girls, including BG, are like, hey, I want some action too. I want to be a star. I want to get some attention. This is how you get attention.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I love every bit of this. The fact that these girls are going at each other every single night, it is way more interesting than the NBA. I'll tell you that. It ain't even close. These girls care more than the NBA players. They compete harder than the NBA players. And Cam, they're creating headlines more so than the NBA players. They're creating
headlines without their skill.
I'm here for it. I love it. I love these women going after each other every night is fucking awesome. I'm sorry.
I gotta agree with you on that.
It's awesome.
Andy, I gotta agree with you.
They're crushing the NBA. Like, it ain't even close. The NBA is so goddamn boring. LeBron isn't in it. We don't even know who it's like. We're trying to. The guy who won the MVP, SGA, and whatever. I mean, he bought his entire team Rolexes, negotiated his own deal. I kind of like that. Didn't use an agent.
The Knicks are in it. No, the NBA. It goes.
I understand.
But
I understand.
But the women. The thing about the women
and
is
I like the Pacers.
Like, there's nothing that. I mean, literally, Andy tweets out something about Angel Reese, and I'm just like, she gets all these layups, and and they're missing. Why don't you just dunk?
I agree with that.
Why don't you just dunk? Why doesn't she, Andy?
I don't know. Well, she just couldn't get her footing.
Why can't you just dunk?
She couldn't get the vertical.
Why can't you just dunk on those plays?
Get the vertical.
See, that's the thing. Like the product is so bad, but Caitlin Clark is good. Mm-hmm. Although Caitlin Clark, if she was an NBA guy, would be a boring player. Right? And they're already bitching about.
What do you mean?
Because she's not dunking. There's no layup. Bam. She's not Shaq. She's not doing crazy Jordan stuff. She just shoots threes. And like,
dude, she play. Honestly, she plays. No, because she plays like Steph Curry. Like, her game would be.
People complain about the 3-pointers in the NBA. So, like, in reality, she's still a boring player compared to the NBA guys, but she's so much better than everybody else. She's 20 times better than anybody in that league, and it shows, and that's why she sticks out.
But she's not boring from the sense that, like, all these girls are going after her every game, and she's
if that wasn't the case, and Caitlin Clark wasn't there, and there was no, like.
We wouldn't even be talking
the product
about
is so bad. They're falling, they're throwing, they're missing. It's like,
I mean, Angel Reese is getting stuffed by this girl who's not even jumping. It was like me playing basketball against my 8-year-old son, 9-year-old son now.
Yeah.
Like, if I was just to stand there and just block his shots, block it. It's like playing against a 3-year-old. Block. They're not even jumping to block the shot. And she's getting her shit rejected and stuffed every time. Man. And she's missing her own shots. And they're like, that's 7 rebounds on one play for Angel Reese. They had a ranking of the top 25 players in the league for the WNBA, and they put her at 25. It's like, we're just going to sneak her in there. She doesn't even belong in the top 25 right now. But I do like the Reinhard and Caitlin. They're going at it, and then you got BG going at it with the referee. It's just a lot of shit going on. I'm here for the WNBA, man.
We know you are, Andy.
There is way more entertainment, excitement, intensity.
It just sucks for me. Basketball just doesn't.
Than the NBA.
Basketball's boring to me. It's a boring sport to me.
Give me these girls fighting.
I rather watch golf. I rather watch golf and just relax and just listen to the birds chirp and Jim Nantz just a soothing call and just talk. There's no, like, it's just. I rather watch that than fucking Indy and basketball.
I don't want to watch the basketball game.
I can't
No,
stand
even the
it.
WNBA. I'm here for the Twitter clips.
There it is,
dude.
then, Andy. There it is. That's all you got to say.
I'm here for the
I'm
after.
on the. There it is.
I'm
glad you're
I
honest.
can't watch 4 quarters. Of it.
No, 4 quarters. I'm not watching 1 second of it unless it's on
and
Twitter.
I wouldn't go to a game, especially with the.
How about Clay
with
Travis?
with the fans yelling.
The fan?
Racial.
Oh yeah, the guy with the mask on.
Is that who said? They're saying he did it.
No one.
Nobody knows who did it.
No one did anything.
But everyone's reacting.
Clay
to it.
Travis is so funny. Although, do I agree with everything he says? No. Is he obnoxious at times? Of course. Clay, he did come on radio shows a couple times. He's pretty funny. Whatever. It's all good. But he is betting Angel Reese like $100,000 to any charity or whatever the case is, calling her out like, I will beat you
in a one-on-one. Can he play?
Can she? You know? Or a 3-point contest or something.
Well, that would be more difficult.
Well, whatever. Like, Clay didn't play anything, dude. He's just a fucking talker, man. Do you imagine? He's throwing $100,000. It's so funny. He just did it on Twitter. It's hilarious. I'm like, she's the guy. Just totally ignore that. That's a bad spot for her. But if she goes out there and dominates Clay, and then all of a sudden you have $100,000 to give to a charity, she's going to look pretty good and get a lot of publicity.
Yeah.
Good publicity.
But that's a lot of publicity
lose.
for Clay Travis.
She'll probably
too.
lose. Yeah, but if he loses and she fucking runs his show and then she gets charity and she's like the hero to give all this money to a charity of anybody.
Would that embarrass
kids in city that got infected by a tornado or, whoever. Like,
I saw a lot of that.
You know what I mean?
I saw
Andy helped out. But
no, I saw it. I drove down there with my family and I did
mocked
not.
them like, hey, kids, we don't ever, let's never drive through here again. We're going to get out of here.
Dude, I wanted to see the devastation, how bad it was over there.
It wasn't that bad there, dude.
Oh my God, dude, it was terrible.
Trees are down. They're not ripping up concrete and stuff like it did in the other place.
Yes, it was. I drove right through North City, dude.
North City? You drove?
Yeah. Like
you drove through North
way
City?
north of the Chase Park Plaza, dude.
Oh God!
I'm at the corner of Martin Luther King and Cass, baby.
It's still not that far. Anyway.
I'm buying roses from people on the side of the street.
No, you're not. You're not doing a damn thing.
Yes, I am. I'm buying M&Ms and roses from the side of the
I
street.
give Clayton Keller, Tage Thompson.
My kids are like, "Hey, Dad, can we get M&Ms from this guy at the red light?" I'm like, "Sure." Gave him $1.
It's probably $4 for those M&Ms.
M&Ms.
Gave him $1.
I got M&Ms and a rose.
Anyway, Clayton Keller, Tage Thompson, little shout out, man. That whole tournament, though, did I watch a lot of it? No. But I did text Andy, though. I'm like, am I watching this? I put it on NHL Network, and Canada's playing god dang Denmark. Denmark.
With Crosby.
With Crosby, McKinnon, Bennington, all these monsters.
Celebrini.
They're monsters on the ice. Ryan O'Reilly, and they're tied 1-1. And all of a sudden, I'm like, is this pre-game? What is this like from a couple weeks ago? It was live. And all of a sudden they score at the end and they fucking win. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Is this a
Spangler Cup?
What is this? What just happened? And Crosby's out there. McKinnon's out there. Ryan O'Reilly was out there. And Denmark scores. Like, they got one NHL guy on their team.
Oh, my God.
One guy on Jordan Bennington. And they get knocked out. Like, what? And then you watch USA and they play Swiss. Who's in this tournament?
Dude, the Swiss were stacked, though, too.
With who?
Like Fiala, Ehlers, Niederreiter.
Ehlers, okay.
They have like some legit dudes, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just still
like USA
Swiss.
had a bunch of young players. I mean, they had Tage Thompson. Keller's been around for a little bit now.
Didn't have that many loaded
but they
guys,
had like Lacombe.
Yeah.
Who I like, that number 2.
Yeah, he's cool.
For USA, defenseman from Minnesota.
Didn't watch
Cutter Gauthier was great. You know, we just had Pat Verbeek on the other day. I'm kind of pulling for that kid. He's a sick hockey player, man.
Really?
He's good. I want Anaheim to be good, man. Especially with
so do I.
Q there now. They just got a bunch of young players. Leo Carlsson was great.
Yep.
For Sweden.
Listen, they didn't. Why wouldn't Sweden win?
Sweden lost to USA.
Okay.
In the semis.
But who did Swiss beat?
And Jeremy Swayman was unreal, dude. Let me just say this now.
Okay.
Because in terms of goaltending for the 4 nations, because Ottinger, you're just, I gave you an opportunity. You're just not running with it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You still have runway left. We'll see how you respond and how you recover.
Yep.
Because it just hasn't been great here against Edmonton. You need to be better. You were good enough against Hellebuck. You had some great moments. You had some moments where you weren't.
Yike. Don't ruin it.
Where you weren't great all the time, but you were good enough to win.
Coach.
But, like, now Swayman's like, hey, don't forget about me, motherfuckers.
There you go, Andy.
Like
I'm still here.
I'm still in this race too.
Yeah, baby.
And I
What's
may
up?
not be in the playoffs,
Let's
but I
go
just
then.
came to the World Championships.
Yeah.
I think his final numbers were. I think his goals against was under 2. Great save percentage. Played 6 games, and he won the tournament for the first time in 93 years
Isn't
or
that
whatever.
weird? When I heard that, I'm
Dude,
like,
USA
Jesus.
never does well over there.
Interesting.
And for Canada to lose, it just kind of opened the door. Although
Sure.
Sweden still had some good players.
Russia's
and
not
stuff.
in it, obviously.
Russia's like never allowed again. They just like said they said they can't be involved or included in the Olympics next year.
Well,
either.
people are saying, what about Israel? In the Olympics.
Are they in it?
Mm-hmm.
Their hockey team?
Doesn't have to be hockey.
Oh, okay.
Just that people are just saying that. And I'm like, it's different.
How
but it's
dare you.
still, well, when Hamas starts a war, then they get their ass kicked, and now they're the victim.
How
I
dare
don't know.
you?
Shoot, I'm on Israel's side more than Hamas. Do I feel sorry for the Palestinian
More
people?
than who?
Hamas, which they don't want to let any of those other Muslim countries, don't want any of them in their country.
Do you like?
But-
do you like Hamas?
But I do
you
feel
like Hamas and Peter?
I feel bad.
No,
for
do
the-
you?
I feel bad for the people. They're actually, I don't know if it was AI, but there's people that are coming out and they're going against Hamas, which is a good sign.
Against
to see.
who?
Hamas. They're going against Hamas. Anyway, whatever. I don't
You
want
like
to get
Hamas?
I don't want to get political.
You like Hamas and Peter?
I like Hamas and fucking what?
Hamas and Peter.
Are you trying to be funny?
No, I'm asking you. That's
Excuse me.
If you ever been to a
You trying to be funny?
if you ever been to a Middle Eastern restaurant, the correct pronunciation of how to order hummus is actually Hamas.
Oh, okay.
Did you
Thank
not
you.
know
Let
that?
me write that down.
You didn't know that?
Let me write that down.
You didn't know hummus is pronounced Hamas?
Don't care. Why are you slowing things down?
Have you ever-
We're fucking
have
going
you ever
here.
been
Why
to-
do you slow the
Have you ever
conversation
been
down?
to like a Middle Eastern?
You don't know how to
You
go
ever
back.
been to,
and-
you ever been to a Middle
You
Eastern
want to
restaurant?
be by yourself. You don't know how to have a conversation.
You ever been to a Middle Eastern restaurant, ordered some like stuffed grape leaves?
No, Andy, listen. What we're talking about,
and a
goddamn Team
legit
USA.
falafel with tahini
Yeah,
and
I've eaten
hummus
everything.
on there.
Andy's
And
talking
hot
food.
sauce.
Andy cooked a couple things, and now he's Guy Fieri. Get on with yourself. Anyway,
I was doing impersonation of Cam the other day. We had a video shoot for our friends with Hat Lunch,
Downtown.
dude. And Cam reminds me of Guy Fieri when he's like,
he's good in front of the camera. That's a compliment.
we're here in Chattanooga where they're grilled up cats and dogs.
Check it out right
This
here.
is Sally's Diner.
Diners, drive-ins, and now he's good though, man. You got to have energy. You know what I mean? You got to have
We're here in
energy.
Pensacola where the cars drive fast and the ladies are cool. This is Bill's Burgers.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. He's good. He was just on Rogan too. Anyway, they did give a tribute.
We're in New Orleans.
Okay, yeah, enough's enough.
Where the
Quit slow-
Cajun food is smoking good.
Quit slowing down the
This
conversation.
is Creole Creations.
They tributed to Johnny Goudreau, which was cool.
I love
I
that.
saw that.
Love
that
it.
was totally cool, baby. Tage Thompson did his thing, scored the game winner.
This
Good for
is
you.
Tage Thompson.
Tage Thompson's going to be on the Olympic team. I'll tell you that right
Oh,
God
hell
dang
yeah.
now, boy.
Pencil his ass in there.
Jesus, who'd they have in besides him for the Four Nations? Not Nelson? Trocheck, who was irrelevant.
He was okay.
Was he
But
okay?
I think so. He's a veteran guy.
I know. No, I know.
No, it was more like Kreider.
Kreider did nothing. He had a breakaway he could have scored, I remember. Had a couple nice chances, but couldn't bury.
They wouldn't even play. Just think of that championship game. We didn't have Tage Thompson in there. He scores like 35, 45 goals every year. Unless he's hurt, but he's one of the best pure snipers
Connor didn't play
in the league.
much.
Kyle Connor doesn't even play in the gold medal
Jesus.
game.
That
USA is
still,
that good?
that still rattles me.
We're that good. Where these guys, they don't even play.
But I'll tell you this right now. Good thing they had that Four Nations tournament.
Because now we know.
Because the viewership with the NHL playoffs right now, downtown Chinatown, 28 %.
Why do you think that is?
Multiple reasons. The teams that are in it.
Mhm.
You had a couple Canadian teams off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
No one's watching American
New
broadcast.
York,
No New
no
York, Boston,
no Chicago.
no Chicago. Even you got Dallas, you got Florida, Carolina. Jesus Christ, the B squad. I feel bad for Florida because I feel like Florida is playing literally the alumni team, and an alumni skate. They're walking all over them.
Like Jesse Bolarese is out there
Chelsea
playing.
Bolarese and fucking Rod Brendamer are still playing, and the
Can't-
Wizard.
No,
What's his name? Ray Whitney's out there fucking playing at 45
Who's the
years old.
defenseman? Who's the big D man?
Commodores out there taking. I mean,
No,
they fucking
no.
suck.
Ward.
Aaron Ward.
Aaron Ward's playing.
They look terrible. They're soft. They're getting beat up. Matthew Tkachuk is running around, making plays, doing everything, going right after Aho hurt.
No one
obviously
even
Reinhart.
jumps in to help.
No one jumps
Aho.
in. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. They can't get the puck out of the zone. Bennett's forechecking so goddamn hard. They look terrible.
Terrible.
And we defended them. And we had a bunch of you Canadian or Carolina fans coming after us saying, "You're not talking enough about this. You guys are well, shit. You are boring. We're right the whole time."
Let me say this about Carolina.
Holy
First
shit.
of all, you're weak up the middle.
Oh,
Okay. Kakaniemi.
they're weak, period.
Stall. I like Stall.
They're not
but,
a tough
you know,
team, dude.
He's just a veteran guy. Aho, you're stuck with it. How many more years with Aho? A very good regular season
Aho?
player. These guys can never get it done in the playoffs. They never get it done in the playoffs. Could you imagine if you put this Carolina team and you put them in Toronto? What are we saying about Carolina? What are we saying about Rod Brindamore?
Soft.
What are we saying about Rod Brindamore? Because, you know, I like Brindamore, obviously a great player, a warrior as a player.
He's not soft.
And no, but he's frustrated as
Big
hell.
time, yeah.
Okay. And he just can't seem to get this team over the hump. If he was coaching in Toronto and they were getting to the first and second round every year and getting to the conference final on certain years where they haven't like won a conference final game in like years, dude.
Yeah, man.
You know, they're like 0 for their last like 15 or something.
Yeah. So it's up
0
there.
and 15 in their last 15 conference final games, something like that. When you talk to players who have gone through Carolina, they tell you the lack of adjustments that coaching staff makes. They don't adjust. They play the same way every game, every night, every year, and they don't change. And I'm sure they have made some adjustments here and there, but they don't adjust the right way, and they don't make the necessary adjustments to help them win in the playoffs. That is obvious. So, you know, they've got some guys on expiring contracts, you know, specifically the Brent Burns of the world and whatnot, but they've got Slavin and then a couple of $3 million defensemen. They're trying to get some young guys in there right now to get some experience.
Jeez.
You know, outside of Svechnikov and like Martinuk. And I know they've got
those guys. What are they? They're getting chirped too. They're not scoring.
I know, but they'll play hard occasionally.
They're not scoring.
Those two guys will kind of play hard occasionally. No, I know. He's calling out like he's saying,
Rod
"Hey,
Brindamore,
where's our best players?
Where's our best players? What
They're
are you
getting
doing?"
chased around and beaten up.
There you go.
That's what's happening.
They're getting slowed down. They're getting crushed by Mikula, who's not playing tonight. I read that on Twitter.
But
I don't know if
apparently
that's
the
true.
injury is not considered serious.
He's probably sitting them out because they don't need him.
Yeah.
Nico Mikula, good God. Blues and Rangers. Just like, okay. Blues are in different. Mikula wasn't that then.
Yeah, but can I just say this?
And then the Rangers like, we don't.
Nico Mikula. I was going back and looking at a bunch of stuff that I tweeted over the years about him. I mean, going back to when
we loved him. Always talked about him.
Back to when he was. I remember the first time I saw him play in a prospect camp, and I remember talking to Billy Armstrong that night. I'd be like, "Damn, this guy he's aggressive.
Effective.
He's a little bit of sloppy feet, but he's going to grow into his body, and he's going to become a good player."
Yep.
And sure as shit, he's like the captain of the World Junior team for Finland, or maybe their under-18 team or whatever. And he kept getting better and better. Played in a world championship at a young age, too, with a bunch of NHL players. And you just knew he was going to have a chance. He was good when he was here, man. I mean, he really was. You know what I mean? Like, he was a good player. And, you know, listen, they made the trade. They got a first-round pick for Tarasenko from the Rangers. They got another third-round pick, I think, in the trade for Mikula. The Rangers could have had him, too. They let him go also.
I know.
You know, but you look at Florida, and I know it's easy to say, what was St. Louis doing? And I'm sure if they had to do it over again, you know, they probably would have hung on to Vince Dunn, probably would have hung on to Mikula. There's a couple good defensemen that got away, you know, from the St. Louis Blues. But at the same time, when you look at Florida and you see the Panthers getting Gustav Forsling off of waivers, I believe from Carolina, by the way, who put him on waivers.
God, he's so good.
They got him for nothing.
So good.
You know what I mean? So they got to make some decisions now in terms of what they want to do after the season with a guy like Aaron Ekblad. I'll say this about Ekblad, who's growing on me. I know some people maybe have been critical of him in the past. I just like the way he plays. Sometimes he gets caught flat-footed and he'll make some mistakes.
He'll give you a little forearm
but
sugar.
he kind of brings a little bit of everything, including some nastiness, man. He competes hard, and he's kind of adopted the style of the rest of the players.
Yeah.
Sam Bennett. I talked to Pronger about this the other day when he came on Hockey Sense, like in terms of what changes if you're going to hand a guy like him a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I like Sam Bennett, and he's making what 5.5 or somewhere
Yeah.
around that range right now. People are talking about him all of a sudden getting into that $10 million a year
I know.
category.
I know.
You got to pump the brakes on that one. Okay. Like, I just would not go there with Sam Bennett. And I'm worried about a team giving him that much money and then all of a sudden becoming disappointed when you have
get
him.
50 points.
Exactly. So now your expectations are for him to perform like a $10 million player, but he's not putting up 80, 90 points. I know he's doing the other intangibles, but you better have Barkov on your team. You better have Kachuk on your team. You better have Reinhardt on your team. You better have him surrounded by all these other players who are putting up big-time numbers and taking your team deep into the playoffs every year where you can kind of reap the benefits of all the intangibles that he brings to the table. But if you're asking him to lead you to the playoffs and to be your best player when you get there because he's your $10 million guy, it's probably not the smartest thing to do. So, listen, I hope he gets
a lot
paid,
of money.
but at the same time, to me, when you're talking about $10 million players in the NHL, that's reserved for guys who truly put up elite numbers and big-time production. Although I love Sam Bennett, and I would love to
They're
have
paying
him on
him
my
for
team.
his playoff.
And he's a second-line center, Cam. He's not a first-line center.
No, I know, but you're not paying him. You're paying him because he performs in the playoffs, and he performed in the Four
How many
Nations.
$10 million players are paid because of what they do in the playoffs?
Well, there's a lot of $10 million players that aren't doing either one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe I'd rather them perform in the playoffs and like a John Tavares, who was he that good in the playoffs?
No.
I don't know.
No.
But he's pretty good. He had a great year this year.
He's a point. He still puts up
He
80
puts
points
up 80
there,
points.
right? And their
So
power plays good.
He's making more money. So,
Mhm.
like, you're paying, but you have to have a team that's going to be in the playoffs. You
Right,
know, if you're going
right.
to pay a guy $10 million to get 50, 60 points, maybe in the regular
Like
season.
if he were to sign with LA, for example.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Who's there? They need to tweak a couple things.
Is
They
he,
got a
is-
good.
Is he going to get you over the
Where's
top?
he playing then as a center on LA?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm. But I'm saying, is that a good investment for LA to make? You know, I mean, Toronto's like, oh, we want to get, Sam Bennett and whatever. Toronto needs, a couple of things, and he would be a great player to have. But again, you're going to give another guy $10 million. You're just getting rid of a $10 million.
You get 10.
Yeah,
you get 12.
Everyone
you get
gets
14.
10.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm a huge Sam Bennett guy, but he's just in the perfect spot, is my point.
And if
Cam.
dude,
You know what I mean?
well, you'd have to pay him $10 million to leave, or 9.5.
Because if he gets
Why would you want to leave
8
there?
or 7.5 from Florida, isn't that the equivalent of getting $10 million from LA? When you break it down
Toronto.
from a tax
Yeah.
standpoint.
And the way of life down there is worth an extra $500,000.
I know.
Sorry, but
Just
it is.
Be wary, man. The grass isn't always greener.
There it is.
Listen, you were basically pushed aside in Calgary. Florida just completely rescued you. and has turned you into a player that people will remember forever as part of a dynasty championship team, especially if Florida's able to win again this year and get to the final 3 years in a row. I mean, they are knocking at the door of becoming the next dynasty. They're better to me than Tampa Bay was a couple years ago. And I know Tampa Bay had some great players and some great
They
runs,
weren't mean like this, dude.
but Tampa just
Holy
never
cow.
really did it in a traditional playoff format. Not to say that they wouldn't have done it if it wasn't the COVID years, but Tampa Stanley Cups for me, not taking anything away from them, but they were done in the bubble.
No.
Then they were done in a 56-game season where they played Montreal, another Eastern Conference team, in the Stanley Cup final.
Yep.
It just was a little goofy,
Yeah, for sure.
And so I would have liked to have seen them do it in a traditional year, which Florida's been able to do, man. And for Florida to get to the Stanley Cup final now for a third consecutive year, they are knocking at the door of becoming the next dynasty. And if Bennett stays in Florida, this could continue for another,
I want
another
Bennett
couple
to
of
stay.
years.
I want Marchand to stay. He fits in perfect.
Mhm.
Like perfect. He's perfect for
What are you
that
giving
team.
him on a 2-year deal? Why would he want to go anywhere else?
Why would
he
you-
obviously
you got
loves
money,
to
like-
win. He loves to win.
Nah, man, chill there, dude.
Chill
Are
in
you kidding?
Florida.
Bring your family down there. You set up life. down
Everyone
there.
leaves you alone.
Set up life down
The
there.
media leaves you alone.
Jesus, are you kidding? They're shooting rats at you. He's just having good. He's eating ice cream. They're just tight, man. They got a great coach.
And that locker
Whoa.
room has, like, he fits in so perfectly with that locker room. Where he
unbelievable.
can come in and like right away be the alpha and be the leader that they look to help them
That's why we have
this
you.
time of year.
We need you to be that.
He didn't have to tippy toe his way in and be like, well, how do I don't want to be too loud and whatever. They're like the most professional group of players that I've seen on one NHL team in quite some time.
I loved how Matthew went after Aho, though. And then he fucking looks at him like, I remember, motherfucker.
Yes, yeah, I remember.
Like, I'll fucking bully you.
Mm-hmm.
Your pussy team. I don't mean to be like that. I'm sorry. But they do play like that. They're not tough.
But it's every
They are
year.
not tough.
It's we go through this every year with Carolina. We
You
said this before the playoffs even started. What are we going to get from Carolina?
You got to have playoff tough guys, man. And they can't be on your third and fourth line. They need to be on your top six. Like these teams like Matthew and those guys, you're dealing with them for 20 minutes a night. Like, God, they're in your face every second. Your top six players, you got to have some toughness up there that know how to play. Is it hard to find? Sure.
But Mikla is, for people who don't know, like he's always been tough. He's always played in your face. He's always been aggressive. He's always had that.
He could hit you at center ice too.
Yeah,
like
he's always
organized
had
hits.
that in him. He had to learn how to like settle down a little bit.
Man, But these
just
games though suck though, man.
Oh my God,
it sucks.
The
dude.
conference finals,
It
the worst
sucks.
round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I asked some people the other day, like, is it always like, I'm trying to remember, because the first round is such a
craziness,
emotional high.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone's going balls to the wall.
Yeah, craziness.
Everyone's healthy for the most part.
Yeah.
Second round, it's a carryover from the first round. It's still exciting hockey. I just feel like you get to the third round, at least this year, it's just been a major letdown. The games aren't competitive.
One team shows up, the other team doesn't.
You just don't know exactly. And then I think when you get to the fourth round, obviously in the final, both teams are going to flip that switch again.
100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Although Dallas played pretty decent.
They did.
They
in
did.
The second period, especially the goal from
They played pretty damn good.
McDavid at the end of the second period just completely
just
deflated
right
them.
at the end of
Yeah.
the second period, where it makes it 3-1.
Because Dallas was outplaying Edmonton
They were
up to that point,
high
at least
scoring
in
chances,
the second period.
Grade A chances,
Yeah.
all the analytics you want to throw at it. Dallas was right there. Even Pete DeBoer was cool about it.
Mm-hmm.
But like the not having Rope hands sucks, man. That was a nasty slash, dude. I'm sorry.
What do you think of it?
I didn't like that. Like with Biz and those guys, and Prongs talked about it too. But it's exactly what you're doing. Stevie Ott, I'll tell you that, used to do that to Cats all the time at the face-off dot. It's not a hockey play. It's a dirty play, and he'll admit that too. It just pissed you off. Avery, all those guys did. You just give them that tap right at the toe. Right at the toe. There's not much protection right there.
It's not up on the laces towards the tongue. It's
Whatever.
right-
It could be just right here, man.
That's what I mean. Right on the top of
Right.
the foot.
Yeah, right on the top of the foot. Like you could either one. Like you whack them,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, like you get a little crack down there. You can't put your foot in a boot. Like you're automatically. I don't care if it hurts or it doesn't. You can't even fit that damn thing in there. You have
Even
no power.
if it's a deep bone
Even
bruise, man.
Doesn't matter, man. You cannot push off. You could get jacked up all you want. Rope Hintz tried to make cruise around warm ups.
Should Nurse have gotten a 5 on that?
Yeah, sure.
Well, they gave him a 5 on the ice, and then they
man.
looked at it and they reduced
It's like
it to a
whacking you in the
minor.
wrist. It's like whacking somebody in the wrist like that and breaking their wrist. Like that's more of a hockey play because the stick's right there. That's not a hockey play.
Wasn't
It's
he
not.
retaliating a little bit?
I don't
Didn't
care
Hintz
what
just
he's
hit
doing.
somebody right before that. So
Okay, you hit
well,
somebody.
no. To my point, when you
hit.
retaliate,
There
that's
it
even
is.
more so as it comes into the.
I didn't like what Pete DeBoer said though. If that was Connor McDavid, would it be? Just
Well,
don't even say anything.
Yeah.
Because you've been so good. He's so chill and relaxed, and he pumped his team up. And he just said, "I need more from guys. Like
Yeah.
we need more scoring."
Yeah, and Hintz isn't Connor McDavid either. So
No, but
it's just like doesn't even matter
Ex-
if it was Connor McDavid. Like maybe the guy would have gotten a 5.
Yeah, just don't even go down that road.
Right.
Don't even bring him up. Don't do anything.
Mhm.
Although Connor McDavid had a scoring slump and he came out and finally scored some goals too.
Mhm.
But just chill. I think Dallas is still in a good spot.
Edmonton is just grown on me. Like I just love the fact that they can win different ways.
They're tough too, dude. They're big and tough.
No, I know. But
You
like
know?
you don't know if you're gonna get the Bouche bomb from Bouchard, if he's gonna be
Yeah.
great that game, if he's gonna be an absolute disaster. Like they're intriguing, they're interesting to
They
me
are.
because of that.
Skinner is up
You know?
and down. He'll stand
Oh,
on his
yeah.
head. He'll let in 5.
He's like flying around, swimming around,
Well,
and he's
you
making
know,
saves or he's not making saves.
we're chirping him earlier. Now we were like, well,
So Edmonton can, like, when they won an overtime game that was low scoring, that told me they can do that, which I didn't know if they were capable of winning a low scoring playoff game that goes into overtime, where you have to defend and you got to rely on your team defense, and that's got to be the strength of your team for that particular game in a playoff game. Well, they were able to do that. Then they can turn around. They can score 6 goals. They can beat you in so many different ways.
I was barbecuing, and I'm sure Andy's was better than mine.
Mm-hmm.
But I go outside, I look at my shit, I come back in, they score. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I
They
know.
go back outside, they come back, they score again. Like they just all of a sudden, boom, Connor McDavid's like, I'm
They
gonna
got
do
a great home crowd too.
something. I like Edmonton. I do.
Me too.
I do.
And how could
man.
you not want to see Connor McDavid
They're built pretty good, dude. They are. And they got some tough guys.
win a Stanley Cup? Is what I'm
I
saying.
know. After that video.
And Draisaitl too.
Draisaitl's awesome. I like the way he is.
But they're
man.
pouty, they're grumpy, they're just a little bit of everything. Too,
I-
though, you know.
After that video,
Mhm.
I saw of Connor McDavid. We talked about it last podcast. It changed me. It changed me with him. I used to chirp him. He's just so grumpy. He's like, me. Like, you got fucking everything. But after that video where he was so distraught and he was so mad.
This is the finals.
I love that passion, dude.
Mhm.
Like, is Austin Matthews doing that? I don't know. It's not too many people.
Marner is.
Yeah, sure.
He is on
He's
the
doing
ice.
the gritty. Hey.
He did it on
the
the
gritty.
ice.
But
Wake up!
I got Mickey Mouse shirt on. Connor McDavid didn't fuck around. He's like, fuck this. It's business. This is business, man. And he was so mad. And I love that. I love that so much. And I'm like, I look at him completely different now. I don't care if he's boring. I don't care if he gets mad at the press for asking him about their defense. Now I look at him completely different just because of that little 15-second clip.
He's got some Crosby in him too, where he's hanging out with the boys, like away from the rink too.
That's what I heard.
I hear he and Frederick
cool.
have become tight. He's
Good,
been great
good.
with Trent Frederick.
hang
Having him over to the house with
Trent, be by him.
What's in the backyard?
Concrete, the power lines.
The power lines. It's a beautiful view. He's got
Power
like the
lines.
nicest house in town with
I know.
just a beautiful
Well, that's
view.
the tough. Like, Edmonton in the winter, man. It's fucking tough, dude. Like, it's not beautiful. It's gross, you know. Like, it's fucking hardcore. Black snow everywhere.
Like,
Trent
Connor,
Frederick.
how come you don't have a pool? Well, we would never
it was
use
fucking.
it.
It's
It would never be open.
It's tough. It's a tough gig up there, man. But people love you, and you have a great team, and I do kind of root for them.
You want him to stay there?
I like when people stay.
You do.
Yeah. I like when people stay with their team and retire, and you're the man. You're Mario.
You don't think
you're the man?
it would be cool to see Connor McDavid play in New York?
Oh yeah, but I just feel like
Or
he goes to New York, he's
Toronto.
gonna
Or
get hurt.
Toronto.
And I just feel like everybody goes to New York late in their career.
Mhm.
Bure, Lindros, Yogs, whatever. Yogs was pretty good, you know, and they just fall apart. And then you want to like not think about that. But if you're in Edmonton your whole career, I love what Mario did. I like what Sid's do. I just like it. Even if I don't see him in the playoffs, which sucks, man, and the numbers are down because of that too.
Yeah.
But I like when one player superstar stays with one team.
I think
I
it's
really do.
easier to do maybe in Pittsburgh versus Edmonton. I mean, it's hard to keep someone in
No,
Edmonton their
it's
entire
tough.
career.
Or Ottawa.
I'm not going to chirp Edmonton. I don't want to
Or
make it
Ottawa.
about that.
No,
But
you're
at the
right.
same time, if he was in a different market, I don't think you would talk about it quite as much.
Go to every GM in the league and say, what do players have their 8-team
Yeah.
on
On their no
trade
list.
list? Look at it. Look at what that is.
What percentage
What percentage is it's
is
all
Edmonton
Canada.
on the list?
It's all
Yeah.
Canada.
Mhm.
Maybe besides Toronto. It's all Canada.
I got
Maybe
a
besides-
message from a listener. He doesn't like us saying that though.
Dude, this is reality. Do I agree? Like, I would love to play for Toronto and Montreal. Are you kidding me? But I'm not a fucking superstar. Like, some guys just want to get the fuck away from that. That is a fact that the Canadian teams are on the no trade list.
But do you think it's
It's
more,
not my
do you
fault.
think it's about getting away from that, or just not living in
Not living in
Canada,
Canada.
and not being taxed?
No,
and
it's
all
not
that
living in
stuff?
Canada. They don't live in Canada, you know? So it sucks. They have to find a way to incentivize.
Can
these
Edmonton,
kids.
if they get past Dallas, what kind of fight would you see them putting up against Florida?
Oh, well, Florida's playing against a B League team right now. So
no,
Florida
the
needs
alumni.
they're playing against Mike Commodore,
And,
Jesse Pulries,
and Aaron Ward.
Aaron Ward, Ward of the Rings. That's who they're playing against right now. Carolina's terrible right now. Now, they play tonight. I
think Cam Ward might be in goal.
I
right
know
now.
Brody's going to post off me chirping Carolina, and then all of a sudden they're going to win 6-0 tonight. I get the game. It's all good. Come at me. It's fine.
Right.
I
'Cause they
deserve
do
it.
play tonight.
I deserve it. It's fine if I'm wrong. I don't care. But they look terrible. They look boring. They look slow, and they look weak. They look weak, like they're little kids getting bullied around by Matthew.
I'm a
little boy.
I know.
I'm gonna fucking bully you,
I
little
know.
boy. God, I hate seeing
He was
that.
chasing around.
It's bad for hockey.
He was chasing around Svechnikov one shift,
I know.
too,
Svechnikov hit him in the back of
series.
the punch him in the back of the head right in front of the
Well,
goddamn.
at least he did that.
I like Svechnikov.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want you to fight Novi, though. Last time you fought
Yeah.
Svech, you got knocked out.
Svech.
Downtown Chinatown. Oh, Jesus, Murphy. Keep your gloves on.
But you know what? Carolina got past Washington, another overrated team that's just not
They're
built
overrated.
for the playoffs.
They were,
They're not built for the
but
playoffs.
we love them. They were great all
Oh,
year.
yeah, no, but they
Love
were.
McMichael, those
but
guys.
they're a second round team.
He's listening.
They're a second round team.
But man, oh man, like let's tighten things up here.
Carolina, I'm
let's
done
go.
with them. I'm done with
Can
this
we
every
have,
year.
Can we have an overtime game? Can we have an overtime game?
No
Let's
wonder.
go.
No wonder Rantanen was like.
Rantanen needs to step the fuck up too.
He does.
I know he saw his 9 goals. He's on Bennett's number 1, and
Yeah.
Rantanen's there. You need to step up too. I didn't
Yes.
notice you.
No, he has not had a great series.
Didn't notice you. Robertson needs to figure things out. I know he scored. He had 5 shots last game. Pete DeBoer pumped his tires up. He needs to get going.
He must not be healthy.
Wyatt Johnson is minus what?
17.
What,
How
Andy?
does that happen?
What?
I think he's minus 17.
What,
Can you
Andy?
explain how that's possible?
Listen, some of those goals not his fault, but if it's a consistent, there's something that line's not doing, and you're a part of that line. So if you're dash 17, it's cold down there, baby. It's cold down there.
I got to double
You
check
better
this.
figure some things out. They need you.
Because I
They
want to
need
say
you.
minus 17. I'm
Andy,
glad
no,
you
it's-
brought that up because
it's
I wanted to
bad.
talk about it.
Yes.
And it's,
You know,
I just don't know. I'm looking at this and I'm like,
Tits McGee might have to go in the goddamn locker room.
yeah, he's minus 17. Duchesne's minus 13.
Yeah. Duchesne need to figure things out too.
What'd you think of Gostisbehere shooting the puck at Brad Marchand? Shane Gostisbehere.
And then Marshy went after him, and that was just the goofiest thing ever. But
He was pissed.
I don't.
man.
Sometimes you rip the puck because
You don't think he did it on purpose? Oh, he did. I think he was like retaliating.
that's a tough one, Andy. I watch it a million times. Yeah, okay. I just think sometimes you're just like fuck everything, rip the puck at the end of the period. Was it at the end of the period?
Yeah. Well, towards the end of the game.
Towards
It
the-
wasn't the end of the very end though. It was towards the end of the game.
So he's just trying to throw it on net. I don't know.
No, from his own blue line.
Was it a slap shot?
He ripped the puck right at Marchand, dude. It was obvious.
Yeah.
See, this is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's when you knew Carolina was just going to be done. I don't know why they try that shit. It's no different than like Max Domi running Barkov at the end of game 4.
Well, that's a more
to
obvious
make it
thing.
2-2. I think it was game 4. Or was that game 3? I think it was game 4
Yeah.
when Florida won the second game at home to make it a tied series, 2-2. And Domi runs Barkov, and I'm like, that was just dumb to do, man. Like now it's over for Toronto. All of a sudden,
So dumb.
Florida has that ability to
Yeah.
like own you when they
Yeah.
want to own you in so many different ways.
Well, it also shows that Carolina has no other way of countering their physicality. Where
Mhm.
now you're going to shoot a puck at Marchand. Why don't you just step up and hit him? He's got the puck all the goddamn time. Why don't you put him down? But you're so pissed that you have to shoot a puck at him. Yeah, Andy, you're right. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt with some
Mhm.
things.
Mhm.
I gave back, fuck this, fuck that. You know, I understand the slash on the toe or on the laces.
That's
like
a hockey. Like
no, it's not.
no, but it's like
I know exactly what you're doing there. So it's
Mhm.
easy for me to be like, that was gutless.
Mhm.
I know exactly what you're doing. This could be like, maybe he was trying to shoot, so I kind of give a little bit of leeway. But if you're trying to shoot a puck at somebody to hurt them, instead of hitting them,
Mhm.
when you're out there for 25 minutes a night, then you better figure out your own fucking shit, dude. You got problems.
He tried to shoot the puck at him.
I agree. You're right. You're right. But I still like look at that like it's not a slash on the thing. It's not a hit from behind.
and
It's
then
like,
Marchand just went crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that about Marchand
do
too.
I.
And
Sure.
Gostisbehere, he wouldn't like drop his stick. He wouldn't drop his gloves.
And
He throwing punches. He connected on one
but you know what?
on Marchand, but he didn't take his glove off.
Yeah, you're right. He connected. But the end, the fight didn't matter. The funny part is when Marchand just gets interviewed after the game with a smile on his
Mhm.
face and he's eating fucking ice cream, not giving two shits about the Carolina Hurricanes. That's what gets them more. than
People
anything.
really think he was eating ice cream between periods.
Whatever. Don't know.
There's no chance. he
No,
was
no
doing
chance
that,
in hell,
dude.
probably. But
They went
that's the
to
perception.
Dairy Queen the night before.
I saw
That's
that.
What
One day, it was like something else. It was like whatever it was. Doesn't matter.
Mhm.
But Marchand in those interviews afterwards, smiling and laughing and getting shot with, he's looking at you, laughing.
He's like the face of the team.
He's
dude.
laughing at you. He's laughing at your whole team.
Isn't he become the face of the team, basically?
They have a bunch of faces.
They have a
on that
bunch
team.
of them.
You know whose face doesn't show up? And it's Barkov. He does everything, doesn't talk, doesn't do anything.
No.
He just plays. I love that as a
Mhm.
leader. I love that. He doesn't get that much attention. He
No.
just plays. That's my boy.
He just
doesn't do interviews.
dominates.
He doesn't do podcasts every 2
No,
seconds.
we're gonna get him on. Though.
He doesn't do any. He just plays, and he plays his ass off. That guy is a warrior.
So
dude.
Wyatt Johnson,
What do you got there, Andy?
he's minus 17.
Jesus,
exactly
that's what I'm saying. That's
He's
unacceptable.
had 2 games here in the playoffs where he's been where he's been a plus. He was a +1 in the second game against Colorado, and then he was a +2 later on in that series in one of the games. And since then, he's been -5, -2, -1, -1,
Jesus.
-2, -2, -2.
Jesus. Anyway, it's just been not very exciting hockey.
Oh my God, the third round! I'm so sick of this.
Jesus,
The
Murphy.
conference finals
Not
have been so disappointing.
A couple other things in real quick. Shanahan out. I think we all kind of knew that was going to happen. Do we know where he's going? Is New York finalized?
How would you define? First off, I'm glad Toronto's not hiring a president. I think that is the dumbest role in hockey. When you bring a president to oversee a capable general manager. Now, there's some cases where it's necessary. When you have a first-time general manager, as will be the case here in St. Louis,
with Alexander Steen,
Doug Armstrong and Alexander Steen, and you have Doug Armstrong, who's widely regarded one of the top,
of course,
general managers in the game. Why would you not want him around to oversee your hockey department, which is what he will be doing? He'll be running the hockey department. Even when Alexander Steen transitions into general manager, Doug Armstrong will now have a title of president and will be running the hockey department.
Yeah.
You have Jeff Gorton, who we've had on the show, doesn't speak French. Longtime GM, had some success on a couple of different spots. And so they wanted him in Montreal, so they made him president. They needed a French-speaking general manager, so they brought in a French-speaking general manager who works under Jeff Gorton. But let's be honest, that's a first-time GM. Jeff Gorton has a lot of experience. Every decision comes across his desk. He's making hockey decisions there. You look at the situation in Vancouver. Patrick Alvin, first-time general manager. And obviously, they got an experienced general manager who's, 80 years old or whatever, like when you look at the situation there.
Saying a lot of things. Jimmy Boy. We had him on, too.
What's his name again? Jimmy what?
Rutherford.
Jim Rutherford. Man.
Jimmy Boy, baby.
Jimmy Boy. He was great when he came on, but, he's funny, man. But he's running the show in Vancouver. Let's not pretend that he's not.
Yep.
So, listen, not to say an organization shouldn't have a president. I mean, you can have a president. I think, Luc Robitaille is the president, right? But the general manager's making the hockey decisions there. And Luc, when we had him on, he does a ton of shit on the business side. So he's a president, but he's doing a lot of business type stuff. Yeah. But when you have a capable general manager, that's why when people are like, oh, Doug Armstrong, he might go to Toronto. This was a few years back. And I'm not going to sit here and say Doug Armstrong would never end up in Toronto. In fact, I think if he were to ever go manage any other organization in the league, if he were to ever leave St. Louis,
Can I guess?
That's the one organization that I think he would go to.
Not Dallas?
No. I'm not saying there wouldn't be another one down the road. Who knows? You can never predict the future. But I would say Toronto would probably be the one team.
Well, you also, in Toronto, have Craig Berube, who's going to have another, more say in everything, too.
Yeah, but he's worked with, I'm just saying, So my point is, to get back to what we were originally talking about with Brendan Shanahan, I don't know what Brendan Shanahan really did in Toronto. He didn't have success. He's never been a general manager. He was a great player. I don't know what exactly he did in Toronto. Honestly, I really don't know.
He signed some guys.
I don't know how involved he was on the day-to-day. I know maybe he had to approve some things. I'm sure some people above him had to approve some things. But was he truly involved in the day-to-day grind of that hockey department? I can't say he was or wasn't. People tend to think that maybe he wasn't, but it was just like if Doug Armstrong was ever going to go work in Toronto, he sure as hell wasn't going to work under Brendan Shanahan. Like that was never going to happen when that rumor was coming out a few years back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
yeah.
I think they made the right decision to move on from Brendan. I've said on this podcast that the Islanders, there was talk about them wanting to hire a president and a general manager. The guy who is conducting the search with the Islanders, last name Collins, he apparently is very close and very tight with Brendan Shanahan. Shanahan has always had family in the New York area, maybe would love to get back to the New York area. And maybe he's going to land another executive job. But he didn't do a good job in Toronto based on the money they spent, how they allocated the money, what positions they gave the majority of the dollars to. And you look at their postseason success, that was almost non-existent. Took them years to get out of the first round. They never got to the conference final. You can't sit there and say that Brendan Shanahan did a really good job in Toronto. I don't know why anybody would feel the need to go out there and hire him or anybody else to be their president unless it's in a situation that really calls for it.
Yeah. I mean, you could look at it a couple different ways. If they didn't have the skill set that they had, you look at it like you didn't do your job. I mean, but you still had unbelievable seasons, you know.
They won the division
You
this
won
past
the-
year.
You know, you did. Like, would other teams look at that in the last 9 years and be like, shit, we'd love to be in that situation. You know, trust me, there's plenty of teams in the NHL that look at the Toronto Maple Leafs like, no, you're doing better than us. But the skill set that they had,
they gave all their money to four guys, right?
Yeah, man, you did. And then you traded away some guys too, like the Kadri situation. Like, it'd be nice to have him in the playoffs. He's a winner. You know what I mean?
But
Lou signed Patrick Marleau.
But it's to my point, though, about if Carolina was Toronto, the narrative would be completely different. They wouldn't be looking at this consistent team that gets to the playoffs and you know wins a round or so and has great seasons in the regular season year after year after year. People would focus more on their deficiencies and their struggles in the playoffs. But in Carolina, it's like they're just so insulated. Nobody talks about them.
Nobody.
If Brendan Moore was coaching that team and that team was in Toronto, they'd be getting rid of him after this year. He'd be getting fired.
Yeah. Is that what that means? Getting rid of somebody?
I think he'd be getting fired. Do you agree?
Um,
He would be.
Yeah. It's unacceptable. So you get swept
Craig
again.
Berube's a great coach. If Craig Berube...
But is his role going to be bigger in Toronto? Craig Berube? That's what I keep reading.
What do you mean?
Well, not that they're not going to have a president. Like, they're going to go through Craig Berube a lot more. I'm like, well, they probably did that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. He's a coach who's, you know, I'm sure he and Tree Living work
Have
in
an
lockstep.
awesome
You know, it's almost going to turn into
relationship.
what you see in the NFL, where head coaches make a lot of the
Damn.
calls. You see these videos on draft day and how they're like so involved in the draft and whatnot. Not every coach is going to have that ability, but a guy like Craig Berube, I'm sure they've made a significant investment. I think they used Mike Babcock the same way in Toronto. I think he had a lot of say over Kyle Dubas with personnel and certainly flexed when he wanted to or needed to. Not saying that's always the best recipe, but I think if you have a proven head coach who's experienced and who's won, then absolutely, you know, like Mike Sullivan in New York, I'm sure is going to have some influence over hockey decisions along with Chris Drury.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he? Why are you bringing him on board if you're not going to ask him his opinion or have him be involved?
In everything.
You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, when Drew Bannister was here coaching the Blues, he wasn't making hockey decisions. You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like everybody's in a different situation.
Yep.
So I would think, you know, Blashill, for example, who just got hired in Chicago, probably isn't making like hockey decisions, but he's involved with the decisions though with Kyle Davidson. You know, Kyle Davidson probably needs a president over him.
Yeah, no doubt.
With significant experience to help him out.
Well, if I'm him too, would I want one? No, but I'd like to have a guy that I can go back and forth with that's been around a long time.
For
man.
sure.
I want to pick your brain. I need to learn too. I want to be better.
He's young.
You know, I'm a young guy.
He's not the most
don't care.
experienced guy.
Yeah.
You know what I
pick your
mean?
brain. Let's do this together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
So I just think every situation is different. But like, I don't know why Toronto felt the need all these years when you had Lou Lamoriello, for example, like to have Brendan Shanahan there. Like, why was that necessary?
Have somebody else too. Hire all kinds of people.
And see, this is the problem when you have these great Hall of Fame players. Like, it's like they've never been criticized their entire career because there was never really a reason to. They were great players. But you can't evaluate an executive the same way you did when they were playing. Like, it's almost like a separate career. Like, it's just different. So,
well, we need him as a GM. How is he capable?
Right.
Well, he scored 600 goals.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, okay. He's on the ice.
Yeah,
He's good.
right.
But what about all this, which is completely different. Interesting.
And Rob Blake, listen, he did a lot to build the LA Kings. You know, they couldn't get over the hump, and he obviously has walked away from that organization. You know, Joe Sakic helped build the Colorado Avalanche. They won a Stanley Cup with him as general manager. Then he moved upstairs. You know, so it's I'm not saying great players can't have great success. It goes up and down. There's different trends. I'm sure there were years ago where a lot of general managers who were having success were really good players at the time. It's just right now, it's just not the case. But even for a president, Brendan Shanahan in Toronto, I just don't, I never really understood the full value, you know, especially when you're not getting it done year after year after year.
Where do you think, and you know, where do you think Marner's going?
I don't know where he's going to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
He's
mean,
making a lot of money.
you know, like
I don't know.
somebody who feels
He's
the
got
need
options.
to, yeah, I mean,
What would you do?
I would have interest in him. I think if
No. If you're a Marner, what would you do?
I'd leave.
Yeah. Where would you go? Should I even go to?
People keep saying Utah.
Or they could say San Jose too. Celebrini. They say Anaheim. People say Florida. I'm like, what?
People say Pittsburgh because of the Dubas connection.
Pittsburgh, I
I don't
saw
know
that
why
too.
he'd go there.
I don't know.
Dubas, that's another one.
I don't really care.
Dubas needs a president.
You
Although
know,
he
shit.
needed, maybe that's why they needed Brendan Shanahan.
You
But
know,
he wasn't an experienced general executive. You know what I mean?
you know,
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't mind if Toronto had a president over the GM, but it should be somebody with a track record, proven track record of success as an executive.
how about this? Can we have a good game in the conference final? Can we? Can we have a couple good games in a row? Not a 5-1 blowout. That's what I want. Can we have good TV ratings? Because you guys went 4 overtimes.
Our hockey fans,
Jesus Christ. I'm turning the game off in the second period.
Our hockey fans, you know, and ESPN's putting the game on at 2:00 in the afternoon. What does that tell you? They're going toe to toe with the gold medal game of the World Championship that maybe a lot of people
In
don't
the
have
Indy 500.
interest.
And stuff. Just
But like,
a lot
how is that? How is a conference final game not in the evening time?
I don't know, but I liked it.
I didn't mind it. Either.
Listen, I don't give a fuck.
It freed
that
up
much.
my evening.
It was great. 2
Yeah.
o'clock. I'm fucking barbecuing,
I
going
know.
back and forth. Like I just want the game to be better.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
care the times.
I know.
As long as they're not 8 o'clock. And they've actually been pretty good about that. It's 7 o'clock tonight and whatnot. I don't mind 2 o'clock.
it's 8
I
o'clock.
don't,
That's 8 o'clock.
and
Eastern.
I don't even care if they're competing with it because I don't really care about the numbers that much. Does it affect us? No. They got to figure out different ways of, I don't know, to get more people to watch. 4 Nations was great. They broke records that way. You know, they had a lot of people watching that way. But right now it's just boring. The games have to be better. Things have to go down. You need a Angel Reese, fucking Brittany Griner and Caitlin Clark, some sort of feud in the NHL right now. There's just not much going on.
Mhm.
The feud is Marchand and Bennett and Matthews are just trolling Carolina, but that's a one-way street.
Mhm.
It needs to be reciprocal. You need to go
Sometimes-
toe-to-toe.
Listen, it's just not hasn't been a great conference final. But you know what? If two teams get into the conference or into the Stanley Cup final and go toe to toe, and it's a great series, it'll save everything.
Yeah.
You know? Before we get to our boy Kyle Clutterbuck, man, great conversation with him.
Yeah, he was cool as shit. Great hair. God damn,
He's
got
cool, dude,
thick
huh?
ass hair. What? Yeah, totally cool.
You'd probably hang out with him if he was a
Yeah.
teammate.
If he was hanging out with Bolts and those guys, man, he seems like a cool cat.
Yeah.
Drinks,
Play a
parties,
long time
yeah.
parties. Yeah.
hits. Shit, I'd be his. Yeah, he better take me out because I'd be sticking up for him every 2 seconds. I'll tell you that. You know,
He is a hitter, though, man.
He's
There's
a
not
hitter,
that many
dude.
great hitters around anymore. You know, who
nah,
just
not really.
understand the art of hitting.
Yeah, there's an art to it. It's a skill.
Yeah.
Big time.
What's the meaning of Labor Day?
Labor Day?
Mhm.
What's wrong with you?
Memorial Day, sorry.
See,
I
you
get
just-
those two confused
Whoa,
all
big
the time.
difference.
I know. What's the meaning of Memorial Day?
Well, what do you mean?
Break it down, like how they start
People that
the history.
fucking fought for our country
Exactly.
that
So how did-
lost their lives.
Exactly. And today's a day
Are
to,
you
honor,
kidding
to
me?
honor them.
I got American flags flying in the wind back
So how did
over yonder.
my question is though, how did we start celebrating Memorial Day?
I'd like to and get the fuck out of here because I'm going to barbecue tonight. So let's fucking go. Jesus Christ. I got to get a history lesson from Andy. He doesn't, he thinks Labor Day is Memorial Day.
Memorial
get
Day.
going.
How did it become a holiday?
I don't know. I don't know when it happened. Probably a long time ago.
Mm.
But people spend should be the whole month of June. But people at the Creve Coeur Racket Club would have a shit fit about it because that's Pride Month. Should be the whole month.
What were you gonna say? You said there's something we haven't talked about yet.
Well, let's get through this, and we'll do it at December.
Oh,
Let's
so
go.
So tell the people stick around for the
Stick
close.
around for the close, baby. I can't believe Andy didn't bring this up because everybody out where Andy lives probably talking about it.
Well, I've been dealing
It
with.
was a big deal in Andy's circle, and I'm just can't believe he didn't bring it up. I cannot believe it. It makes me a little uncomfortable. Let's go. Who we got? First form?
I've been dealing with a lot
We
of
got first form?
tornado cleanup too in my house with my fence, so and the tree.
What do we got?
Some beautiful
Sponsors.
I know, but they came over and like
Sponsors.
the tree that fell over.
Yeah, we know you don't have a chainsaw.
I got firewood. I need someone to come over and cut
You're
down
wasting
some of this.
time.
I know.
And the
firewood.
people. Let's go.
Okay. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Let's go. God dang right. I'm taking that collagen.
Have you had any of that smash cake, that strawberry smash cake?
I don't eat that.
Bars?
I just don't eat that from them. I do a
You
lot
don't
of other
eat bars?
things. I don't eat the bars.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we live off the bars.
I eat the beef sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I do the collagen. I do the magnesium. I do the protein. I do the creatine. I do the electrolytes.
Mhm.
I do the greens, the
The
reds.
fruits. Yeah.
What else? I mean, if they're closed,
Gut health, the vitamins.
the vitamins. Yep. I love it. I feel better when I take the vitamins.
the
If I take
formula one,
you
the
gotta
level one.
all that stuff. That's what I'm not into the bars. I don't like chocolate like that during
Mm-hmm.
the day for some reason. That's just me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't.
So-
This is strawberry smash cake.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cake stuff. I don't know. I don't know. But I like the beef sticks
You
during
know,
the day. And
I'll
stuff.
get up and I'll do like a morning, like
You'll do a morning
routine.
what?
Oh God!
You'll do a morning
a-
what?
It's a routine,
Well, you jogging, doing sprints,
and then I'll just have a smash cake.
and he's got a huge like fucking tree trunk over. He's doing lunges. You ain't doing shit.
20 grams of protein.
You're on your phone.
and that bad boy.
I can only imagine when those guys came over to Andy's house to look at his tree that fell down. I just know how he is. Instead of going out there, hey guys, how you doing? He's on the phone. Andy would be on the phone talking to the people to tell them what to do while he's talking to somebody else on the phone, just to show that you're busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Andy will come out and have to explain something about something very important, but he'll be on the phone at the same time.
Mm.
Don't do that.
Isn't that amazing?
That's very rude.
No, that's amazing.
No, it's so rude. If you did that to me and I'm
what
working on your
makes
house
you
and you, because I just know
No,
you.
who's to say that even
No,
happened?
I know you.
Oh, can
I
I?
know you more than.
Can I give a shout out to
think.
somebody real quick? To Bill Muckholt,
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
because Billy did a great job in 1 year as the head coach at Lindenwood University, and I know people local want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not an ideal situation. I mean, kind of fucked over the hockey, the university at the same time. But that's business, man.
Yeah.
When you come to Lindenwood,
He's
and
going to
he went to
Michigan Tech.
Michigan
Tech.
Tech.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he went to Michigan as a player, coached there for a long time. The idea of him being here for several years probably wasn't in the cards. Assuming he did a good job in his first year,
Yeah, he's gonna pay
it's
more
going to
money.
get some attention from some other people, and that's exactly what
what
happened.
you
So
do.
they're basically doubling his salary. It's hard to
Come on.
like
No doubt, man.
be critical of anybody who would, use a position to get a better position
No doubt.
in college
Who's
hockey.
critiquing him?
Well, I just think it's like the university probably isn't very thrilled with it,
You're Lindenwood.
right?
You're gonna have to deal with that stuff.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to deal.
Let me
You're
throw
D1, but you're gonna have
Let
to.
me
you're
throw
gonna
a
deal with it.
name out there. Keith Fisher is an associate head coach at Penn State. If they can land him, that would be a nice rebound, Cam, to get a guy who's coming in from another power conference, a power team, who's had a lot of success. He's been there since the beginning of that program as one of their top recruiters, associate head coach, and understands the college hockey landscape, understands recruiting. I think to bring somebody from a big-time program into your program after losing a coach at this stage of the year would be a real positive for Lindenwood if they can get this done. I know he's interested. I know the team has interest.
That's
in him,
hockey
too.
sense conversation. I do want to give Bill Muckholt a hey, congrats, man. You're a good guy.
Yeah.
And he's bringing Benton to one
Yeah.
of his assistant coaches
Benson,
up there.
yeah.
Benson, who's I'm going to miss
Yeah.
you guys in the
He
alumni
took him,
skates.
yeah.
You guys were awesome, man. So we're rooting for you. By the way, Bill was in that. What trade was he in? Do you know? Bill Muckholt.
Mhm.
He was in the Chara Yashin trade.
Was he?
Yes. This fucking trade, they traded Alexei Yashin for Chara, Bill Muckholt in a first-round pick that turned into Jason Spezza.
Mm.
Could you imagine how fucked up that is? Isn't that crazy? That popped up today because I wrote down Bill Muckholt.
From where to where?
From Islanders in Iowa.
From
Yeah.
Islanders, yeah.
Yeah. He was a part of that trade. One of the
Wow.
biggest trades ever. Interesting, huh?
Biggest in what sense?
One of the
Because of how good Chara ended up becoming?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
think it was the most interesting, terrible trade. Like one of
Yeah.
the most probably
How
talked
could
about
you
trade
have a player of his caliber
You know?
and not realize it?
and not realize it. It's
He's
unbelievable.
6'9".
Chara's in my top 6 ever.
Really?
Yes.
Give me your top 6.
Defenseman ever that if I was a GM, I would have Chara in my top 6
Give me your top 6.
ever.
Can you name 6?
I'd have Chara and Larry Robinson as
Mhm.
my first 2.
Okay, give me you have 4 more to go.
I don't know, but Chara would be in it. Stevens or and then maybe Prongs
Mhm.
and Al in the end. I don't know.
That's 7.
Get
You know who I'd have in my top 6?
you just wait. That's okay. You have 7.
You know who I'd
That's
have,
not bad
You know
though.
who I'd have in my top
Who?
6? I would go or Pronger,
Two
Chara,
lefties. So you would have Chara. I told you, you would have Chara.
Lidstrom,
Ooh, you have all lefties, man. But whatever. Those guys could play. Yeah, but it's good to have a fucking right-handed shot.
Makar,
Righty.
and
Stevens. I'm putting Stevens on there, dude. I'm sorry.
Bork.
Ray. Good. Cool.
You want to go toe to toe or?
No, I don't know, man. I just would have my point was I'd have Chara in my top 6 ever.
Okay.
I'd have him play in my top 6. If all the players ever.
I got so seltzer drunk last night.
I
boy.
bet. Would you have a couple? Andy's got his wife's family come overnight.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Andy's got his wife's family come overnight and he's going to barbecue. I bet you he's stressed out. You know they're critical of food, probably.
Oh my god.
And they're going to be like, "What's Andy?"
No, they'll just say it was.
I
great.
bet you that Lori's mom and dad are like, "So, what are we eating? You guys going to go pick something up?" No. Andy's cooking.
Can I say?
And I bet you they're like, "Son of a bitch."
I'm a little nervous about the cowboy ribeye because
Should be as expensive.
is it?
Fucking right.
Okay, well
I
I
think
got,
fucking $100, baby.
I got a cowboy ribeye, but very fattening.
Whatever.
It's not as healthy of a steak as the.
Andy eats like a 13-year-old Valley girl. He does. He eats like a 13-year-old Valley girl. Like what's going on here? You ever go out to dinner with a guy who looks at the menu, not a girl, a guy that's like, what I don't understand this. Like, can we put something? Does this come with that? And that? Like, that's
I don't
Andy.
say that.
No, that's Andy.
I don't change that.
It's
around.
so annoying.
You're creating a false.
I know a guy the other day. We're at fucking Tucker's in 141 in goddamn Manchester, and he's like, literally, this poor girl is busy as shit. He kept asking questions like, "Does it have that?" So I don't like that. And he keep looking. I'm like,
I don't do
this
that.
guy is fucking annoying.
I don't do that
You don't eat.
when I order.
You don't eat. We have to have a couple beers the other day, and he doesn't have his wallet. I'm like, son of a, go. We're gonna pick these guys' tabs up. He's like, I only do it on my phone. I go in your fucking car and get your credit card. Come back in here. Jesus Christ.
Cam doesn't pay with his phone. I pay with my
Jesus
phone all the
Yeah,
time.
get your credit card. We're splitting a bill for these kids from Hat Launch. They want a couple beers. We shot the shit with them. Go get your fucking thing. Like, it's always something. Just fix that. All good. I love you.
Yeah.
No big deal. I love your family.
Pay with my phone.
You better cook good tonight.
Tell the people I
You
don't.
better cook
okay,
good
but I don't
tonight.
order like that, so you shouldn't say that. You never see me order like that. You ever see me
It
order?
wasn't as bad as him.
I
I'll
don't
give you
do
that.
that.
It wasn't as bad as him. Just don't do that. All good.
I don't.
I'm giving advice.
My burst is sad,
What
dude.
happened?
My burst is
What
sad.
happened now?
This is my
Anyway, First Form, baby. Love all
You ever
y'all.
had a-
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Let's go. Andy, it's Memorial Day.
You ever had a bursa weekend? Or be a bursa
Excuse me?
injury?
No. Stupid.
IRC, baby.
Right there in Swansea, Illinois. Love you, Chrissy. Love you, Jacob. Love you, Eric. I love all you guys out there. You guys help people. You love people. You love to help people. You're doing a damn good job. That's IRC Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea, Illinois.
If anybody
you need
needs
get a
help,
hold of me.
reach
Get a hold
out
of
to
me.
me.
Get a hold of me, and I'll explain everything. Get a hold of Chrissy. They want to help you. They will help you. You got to do it for yourself, but
Mhm.
they love you and they will help you. That's the Illinois Recovery Center.
We're in Chattanooga. We're grilling up the best pork steaks.
Come on in.
This is Sally's pork steaks.
And I always go like this. Like I always like shake my head and then, yeah, man, you got to be animated. And he's like, hey, come to this place over here and do this there. Like I'm a fucking showman.
I don't do that.
I'm a showman. It was pretty cool though.
We're grilling up the best pancakes and grits. This is Kathy's Grits.
You've already done this skit 15 fucking times. Andy finds something that he thinks funny and he keeps going
Type
and going
A.
and going and going and going. He's type B.
Illinois Recovery Center, baby. Reach out to me. And do not stand for a life or a lifestyle that is not getting the most out of you, man.
No doubt about it, man.
Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com. We just met our boys over there. Did a great photo shoot.
Yeah, it was
in
really
downtown St. Louis. Cam was so nervous about going downtown. He had to bring his nasty. I hate when you come in my car, dude. I just don't like when you.
What'd you say?
I don't like when you.
Wait, what'd you say?
When I give you rides.
What'd you say?
When I give you rides in my car. And
Andy said, I'm the biggest 5'11".
Oh my God.
I am a monster.
I don't fit. He can't
in,
even fit in my car.
I told Kate you said that. She's like, oh my God, he's 100%.
He is. He's the biggest 5'11".
It's
person I've ever met. His legs don't fit. Like
my hands hit things. Like I'm like, God, I'm a mutant.
He brings these big ass duffel bags into my car.
I got things in there. Yeah,
he's like running to the car with his duffel bag. There's a cop sitting in the parking lot. He probably thinks we're doing like some type of transaction.
I probably know him. It's all good. All good. But I don't fit in car. I'm big, dude.
It's like Jesus.
I know.
He's grunting. He's like sweat marks on my
breathe
seats.
heavy. Like I'm an animal. That's why, Andy. I'm an animal.
Take care of some things.
I am an animal.
All right.
Werewolf.
Hat Launch, baby. Customize that hat. America's #1 source for customized hats is
Hat Launch.
Hat Launch,
right
baby.
here in St. Louis, Missouri.
So look for that video coming out very soon. Hatlaunch.com. Listen, create a hat that you get in a couple weeks with your logo on it. You just put your logo on the hat, man, and they create the logo for you, and they get you these hats back.
Yeah,
in
or
like
you can
2
create the
weeks,
logo
dude.
and they'll tweak it or
or
whatever.
send them the logo you want. But if you
Whatever
don't
you
have a logo, they'll create a logo for you. Best quality hats too. They've got T-shirts, they got hoodies, they got it all, and they're great people. I love everyone over there at Hat Launch, baby. Blue Note Roofing, he's busy right now.
Mhm.
David Novak is busy.
I need him at my house. I'm already pimping
Leave
out
him
all this
alone
stuff.
right now because he's got more important stuff to do after I was just Hat Launch.
I know you don't want to go home.
This
I know
is
you don't
Hat
want to go
Launch.
home right now.
Come on.
But
man.
I do.
Oh my God.
You know.
Shilly Plastering. Third
Yeah.
generation company.
My neighbors, they're getting bows.
Okay.
Expensive
They've owned
pools.
this since 1950.
They're the best. That's why, dude. They
Isn't
don't
that
play
amazing?
around.
That's going
They
on
don't-
100. That's
Ryan
going
don't
on
play.
100 years.
They're good old boys out in South
75
County.
years.
Goddamn right.
That's 75 years.
Those guys work their ass
They
off. dude.
plaster commercial pools, residential pools, as well as plastering. I love the fact that they've been around for 75 years, man.
What does that mean?
That just means.
What do you think that
means?
means?
They do it right.
Damn right. That's why when I go to a pizza place or something, they've been around since freaking
If
1970.
you
Hell
have
yeah.
a pool at your house or you're looking for a pool, look no further than Shilly Plastering.
Yes.
Get plastered with
Yeah.
Shilly
They'll
Plastering.
take care of you.
Just like I am off the seltzers.
Yeah, and he had a couple sips, wobbling around. Stomps his feet
Shilly
when he
is the
walks.
only authorized PebbleTech applicator in the Midwest. Find another one that's a PebbleTech applicator. You won't find one. They are a team of professionals and craftsmen, Cam.
Goddamn right.
Turn your backyard into an oasis by getting plastered with Shilly Plastering.
Let's go. Let's go.
Say hi to Ryan.
Ryan, what up? Tell your daddy I said, what's up, baby? Coach me in AAA.
Yes.
Great guy. Davey boy, what's up? Love you, man. My daddy says hey, too.
Blue Note Roofing. David Novak, 314-920-5713. He's busy, but he is standing by ready to take your call.
Let's go. Let's go.
I passed his card out to a number of people in North City, too, when I was driving down there.
Don't lie. Come on.
I'm
Let's go. Now you're lying to the people.
As
And
I-
it's actually, you're belittling
as I
them.
drove- No,
You're-
I'm
yeah, you
not.
are. You didn't
Stop, dude.
fucking do it.
I drove into-
You didn't roll your fucking window down.
Yes,
Get
I
on
did.
with yourself.
I got M&Ms and a
No,
rose.
you didn't. You didn't do shit to help.
I got M&Ms.
You mocked them.
I got M&Ms.
You told
and
your
a
family,
rose.
thank God we don't live down here. Let's go. Get out of here. Virtue signal, motherfucker. Get on with yourself.
Yeah.
Get up. Yeah. Get on with yourself.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
This right here.
314-920-5713. Call
Right here.
David Novak today.
I'm going to, actually. He's going to have to do my roof.
Leave him alone. He's got busier.
No,
He's
I
got
need
more
him.
important things.
I need
He's
him.
got more important things going on.
What about this?
Jersey Generator?
People are asking me where they can get this bad
Dude,
boy.
tell them right now.
I can go to Jersey Generator, baby. Look at this. Look at us. The best logo in all podcasts. I love Curfew. I love Chicklets. Fucking, there's a bunch of good ones. But Andy and I's face like this is the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Cam thinks it's the best because it has his face on it. I mean,
My face looks fucking good. No,
This
Andy
guy.
doesn't like the way Andy's ears are a little big on the, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just, Kate loves it.
Okay.
Every time we used to do those little videos with our little,
Yeah.
people love that.
Yeah,
dude.
they love it.
We have a good, and somebody just made this
I
randomly
know.
for us.
We appreciate that.
Yeah. It actually really looks
Jersey
like this.
Generator. Check out their Instagram account, jerseygenerator.com.
Yep, right there, baby.
Dude, this guy's an entrepreneur, Mark.
Yeah, young kid too, man.
Yeah.
Does damn good work.
He makes the best men's league jerseys in the world, and he can do individual jerseys. So if you just want a jersey just to rock
Yeah.
to the game,
I'll sign
like,
that bad boy.
buy
Send
one
it
of
to me.
these and just wear it to a Blues game.
Yep, damn right.
You can get any color combination you want, man. You design it the way that you want it to look. And if you own a restaurant or a business and you want to put your logo and create a hockey jersey out of
Yeah,
it, you
for a
do
cool
that too.
sports room.
I mean,
Damn
how
right.
cool is that?
Yeah, I like it a lot, man.
Yeah.
They do
So
a damn good
check
job.
that out, man. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks. Told you that a million goddamn times.
But you do get sushi and flavored water.
Type B. Chai, Missouri, right up yonder.
Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, small wheels, 2
Type
doors,
B.
flames on the side.
I am looking for a
Soft
new truck.
top.
My transmission's going out.
They've
on my
got
truck.
Buick GMC on one side of the street. On the other side, it's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. All located where?
Troy, Missouri.
God,
Dang good people up
gosh
yonder.
dang it.
I need a new truck. Danny boy,
Mhm.
Dale, Kenny, don't fuck with me now.
Hell no.
I need a goddamn truck.
Yeah.
If my wife goes up there, don't fucking creep her up. They're not.
Hey, listen.
Kate can go up there and like do what she wants,
I
and they'll
know.
be sweet to her,
I
dude,
know.
and not
Okay,
rip her
okay.
off.
No, they won't.
That's
I know.
the point of the whole thing.
It is. I know. We
It's
all
a
know that.
sushi and flavored water.
Yeah, you get that too.
Hilarious.
Buick GMC, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, only at Bellman's. Had a Danny boy.
Danny, what up, baby? Kenny,
Dale.
Dale, goddamn.
Hell yeah.
I hope you guys enjoy.
Say
it.
hell yeah, Dale.
Hell yeah, Dale. They got American flags cruising around
Yeah,
up there. I bet
know they do.
they appreciate Memorial Day.
Bolt
Damn right.
Sports, baby. You want to get your stick handling, your skill level to the next level. What do? You got to practice.
Yeah, you got to practice all the time. You got to keep up with the pace.
We
Andy.
played so much hockey in the driveway this past weekend.
Good.
Because like just practicing one timers, just doing some
Yeah.
stuff. Like it's like a beautiful night out.
Yeah, do that, dude. You don't have to have
We
ice
loved
time
it.
and spin ice.
We
You
loved
just
it.
get your work done at home. A lot
Yeah.
of work is done at home.
A lot
man.
of the work is
Yep,
done at home.
It is.
Bolt Sports can help you do that. They got the dangler where you can stick handle, practice your stick handling. They got the e-cones for agility. They've got the snipes for target practice. All lights up. You get the app on your phone. Do. And little Johnny could be playing against Billy, who's at his house, and you guys compare scores. You can play against people online. It's like video games and everything.
Yeah,
Creighton. But it's like, you can do anything.
one sponsor at a time.
Well, it's hiding.
Like, why you
It's Creighton.
Creighton?
I got these boys over here. They got Creighton. Don't get near the car. It's Creighton in there.
But you have to keep up with the pace with Bolt Sports.
Yes,
so
you do.
that. You got to hook your
Yes.
kid up, man. Doesn't cost that much money,
Mhm.
but they can get a lot of use out of that.
Yeah.
And it will help their skill set. Like it just you gotta do things
No
like
doubt
that.
about
You
it.
can't be at the goddamn rink on fucking time. Costs money
Mhm.
and time.
But this doesn't, to practice at home, it doesn't cost money. Do it with Bolt
What are you
Sports and
pointing
do
at?
it today. Creighton.
it's nothing to do with anything. It's first form, baby.
True Float.
True. Oh God, what a week. Well,
What a weekend to have a beautiful cooler with your logo on it from your business that was created by True Float.
yeah, man.
Truefloat.ca. TRUFLOAT. Check out their Instagram. These are some real shit kickers.
Damn good from
Alberta,
Alberta
baby.
right there, baby. These things can fly out of your truck at 90 miles an hour. The beer won't even fizzle up. I'm telling you, Yeti, bunch of pansies. True Float, the real deal. Shit kicking Alberta. Let's go. Support those guys.
Mhm.
You can create anything you want, man. We got some badass Cam and Strick coolers, dude. They got chairs too that heat up as well.
Mhm.
Check them out. Check out their Instagram. Get in touch with us.
Check
Get in
it
touch
out.
with them. Check it out. And get hooked up with a goddamn cooler
Hells yeah.
from
From-
True Float,
They're the best. Where are they from?
Alberta.
Shit kickers.
Yeah, baby. Let's go.
All right, Cal Clutterbuck, man. He's a shit kicker too.
Let's
man.
go.
Keep your head up when he's on the ice. Clutterbuck joins us now on the Cam and Strick Podcast. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
Look at all that booze back there. What do you got back there, dude?
We got some stuff back here. Big whiskey guy, so a lot of whiskeys up there. A lot of bourbons.
Is that what you're doing with your time right now? Like when you stop playing hockey, and besides going to the Masters and
Yeah.
being a podcast star and everything else that you're doing, like what are you looking for that next hobby? Are you looking for something to take care of all this time you've spent time doing the last several years, your whole life?
I play a ton of golf. I'm a big golfer. Always have been. Probably should have played less golf when I was playing hockey, but whatever. It is what it is.
It helps you, man.
Played a bit of a hockey player.
You got to relax and play golf, dude. Who's your favorite golfer right now? Like, who's your Scheffler after he got arrested?
Yeah, I mean, probably Scotty. I'm a big Max Homa fan. I was a big Tiger fan. I kind of want to see Max get it going, struggling this year. But yeah, I mean, it's hard not to be a Scotty fan. He's winning everything. He just kind of like seems like he's doing it like without even trying. So you got to give him some credit. I was always a big Brooksy fan. He's taken a lot of shit lately, but whatever. I'm a big fan of Brooks. Hopefully he gets it back.
He kind of brings it on himself, though, too. It's like, he does take a little bit of shit, but, he's not afraid to put himself out there, which I respect. I like Brooks a lot, too, man. And when you're playing in New York, though, man, do you meet a lot of golfers? Like, I mean, and I'm always curious, hockey players, baseball players, they take their golf clubs on the road. They stay in the same city for 3 days. Yeah. Pitchers, like, work one every 5 days, so they're constantly golfing. What about hockey players? Are you golfing a lot on the road, or you just never, ever take your clubs with you?
Well, you definitely not taking your clubs with you when you got Lou as the GM. That's number one.
I knew that. I knew that.
That is number.
You knew that.
That's never going to happen. Although I will say we did find a loophole. We've used Shipsticks a couple times. Shout out to Shipsticks. We've done that. Played golf in California a couple times. Maybe Florida once. But no, I mean, you don't have much time. Yeah, you know it is, Cam. Like you're in the city, you're out of the city. There's no, even if you're playing that day, baseball guys can go play in the morning and then play the baseball game at night. We have to be a morning skate or meal or whatever. We don't have time for that. So usually the clubs go away from like September to May, and then you got 3 months to work on it. It's never enough time. So we found some time to do it once or twice, but it's definitely not a regular thing.
Could you imagine though? You guys went on a West Coast swing and you had 2 days off, and you bring your fucking clubs on the plane, and Lou looks at you. Are you out of your fucking mind? He'd boot you right off.
It would have been go home.
Go home.
You later. Yeah.
Okay, I'm swallowing my chew in front of him.
Before you know it, you'd be in Edmonton in a day and a half.
Yeah.
What's Shipsticks?
Yeah.
Shipsticks is like this FedEx service that you drop your clubs off at FedEx, and you tell them what golf club you're going to play, and they send them there like overnight or 2 day. And so they're just kind of there at the starter shack when you show up. And then you box them back up, put them in your travel bag when you're about to leave. Same thing. They send them back to your house, drop them off.
Oh, that's nice. Cool. Okay, I know we're talking golf, but I love golf, man. I got into it. But like, okay, if you had to pick a foursome, who would it be? And not just great golfers, like guys that you want to sit.
I want to say teammates you played with.
I want guys that you'd sit on a cart with for 5 hours that you could pick their brain and shoot the shit with. Who would be your top foursome?
Let's go with teammates though. Give me hockey players you played with that you'd want to golf with.
I asked the question.
I'm just finishing the question. Sorry.
It's a good one. I think teammates. I have to take. I think I got to take Matt Martin. Probably always a good time with him. He'd be riding shotgun with me. He's like my guru. He's like my even keel guy. I get a little excited, so he's there to calm me down. Going back, I mean, maybe Patrick O'Sullivan. I was roommates with Patty O, and he was always awesome. I had a good time with him. I haven't seen him in a long time. It'd be nice to catch up with him. And let's see who else. Maybe Andrew Burnett was always a favorite teammate of mine.
Nice.
It was him in my first couple of years. He's always good for a laugh. Always good to talk life or hockey with. He was always a good dude. So maybe those three would be fun.
Yeah, I like that. We've had 2 of those 3 on.
Yeah.
A couple of those guys on with us. Great conversation with all those guys. I like Patrick O'Sullivan too, man. He's got a great story and overcome a lot of things, to get to the NHL.
Great OHL player.
Oh yeah, great in the OHL.
Yeah, he was unbelievable. He beat us out, I think, twice in the conference finals in Mississauga. I was playing in Toronto. So best half slap shot in the game.
Where are you at now? Where are you living? Now that you're retired officially.
I'm on Long Island. I'm a full-time Long Island guy now. So I've been here full-time for God, almost 8 years now. I've been living here for 12 or 13. So I'm here full-time. All my kids were born here. I got 4 kids. They're all in school. So, there's nowhere for me really to go. I guess I might be able to go back home to Canada, but once you live in and around Long Island, New York, there's probably not much going on in Welland, Ontario. So we visit there and we live here kind of thing.
So how old are your kids, man? You have hockey players. Do you want them to play hockey?
I have 3 girls and a boy. My boy plays a little hockey. My girls are 12, 11. My boy's 7, and I got another little girl's turning 2 next week. So not much hockey. My son plays. I'd like for him to play. I'd like for him not to play. Whatever. I don't really care. Probably prefer if he didn't, being completely honest, because I spent enough time at the rink. But he wants to play and he wants to do what I did, so he's playing, and I'm happy with that. But he's good. He likes other things too, though. He likes playing soccer. He loves swinging a golf club, which is cool. So I'm just gonna try and use my Jedi mind tricks to sort of circle around hockey and maybe land on one of those 2 other things, but we'll see.
Hey, listen, I love it. But they don't allow hitting until like Bantam Major now, so you should, for your son, he should just wait until he's a Bantam Major to play.
He's
so
already running into that problem. Obviously, it's got to be genetic. He's run into that problem a couple times. And my daughters too. Like, let me tell you, my second daughter, she plays field lacrosse, and we've had a couple yellow cards come our way. I'll tell you.
Good for her.
Just crushing,
crushing
kids.
She's crushing. It's great because she does really well. Some kids have it. That a little bit of, I don't even know, that a little bit of that fuck you, and she's got it. And I was always a little nervous about it when she first started, and all the coaches were like, "We don't want to take that out of her. She's fine. We'll hone it in later."
Yeah, we'll control that.
Let her run and go. So, it's good. They both have that in them. And, I guess they come by it honestly.
Do you, as a pro athlete, do the coaches annoy you at times, or the other parents when they're screaming? Are you looking at them like, "Oh God, shut the fuck up"? Or you just hide by yourself and just get away from everybody?
It all annoys me. I'm the guy in the corner, like in the bushes, watching, just walking, pacing, quiet. You know how it is. You don't want to. The parents, some can be annoying. Most of them are annoying. It's always the parents in the other team usually that are annoying. Some on your team that are annoying. The coaches, the obnoxious ones are what they are. It's really just the parents and the constant conversation and the critiquing of the coach, and the team loses a game, and you feel like you're in the war room and the Eastern Conference Final, and you're like under a tent while the kids are crushing Welch's fruit snacks, and the parents are having a powwow on like how they're going to overthrow the coach, and and I'm just sitting there like stuffing some Tito's in my Yeti, just trying to get through the day. So it's like,
I hear you on that, man.
It's a little crazy, man. I actually thought about starting a podcast for those parents, just telling them to calm the fuck down.
Good for you.
Because no one talks to them. There's nowhere for them to go to like be told to shut up. They all feed on each other, and so I might still do it. Just because it's like it's getting out of control. I'm sure it was like that when we grew up, but I don't remember it being that bad.
They want to overthrow the coach. No, back in the day, everyone was afraid of the coach. No one would want to talk to the coach.
Yeah.
Parents wouldn't want to talk to the coach either because they thought it would hurt their kid.
Yeah.
Now it's like everyone like creates like this coalition together. It's like more power with numbers, and then they can get what they want.
It's usually the moms too, the moms who have a bunch of experience playing. It's like, all right, yeah.
They know what they're talking about. Just
they
listen to them.
They know exactly what they're talking about. They're solving the world's problems all day, every day.
Oh, yeah.
So when did you start really hitting and like loving the physical part of the game? Was that always in you too from a young age, or did you just adapt that style just to carve out an NHL career, a long one?
I always liked it right from the start. I always was decent, like pretty good at it. I still, when I was a kid, Rock'em Sock'em tapes were huge, obviously. So I'd get one every year for my birthday. I'd watch the big hits like on repeat. I'd go into the basement, make my sister like run at me and hip check her onto like an old mattress, flip her over my back, like. But I was good, I was a good player back then, so I scored a lot, and so, but hitting came in, and I don't know, I was just good at it, and I loved it. I loved being able to just line somebody up and kill them. It's a good feeling, and I just kept doing it, and then you get to junior, and the guys get bigger, so you got to hit them harder, and then you got to get bigger, and it gets harder to score. So then you start hitting, fighting a little, and then it just kind of evolved that way. I definitely knew that if I was going to be able to play, it was going to be through that, and not scoring 20 to 30 a year.
So, okay, you're crushing guys in Pee Wee and whatnot, and then you go to juniors, and then you're like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. And then you murder some poor soul in the corner, and then that big motherfucker comes on the ice with no teeth at 6'4", and you're like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I got to fight this guy now.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? How was that first experience?
The first guy I fought was my first game. I just was like, oh, fuck it, I'll get out of the way. Was like the smallest guy on the ice. I think his name was Dan Rivasella. He was like 20, and he was like 5'6", skill guy. I just kind of grabbed him, jumped him, beat the shit out of him. I was like, all right, I got that out of the way. And then, they just kind of kept coming, and so I fought, enough. My first year in junior, I fought enough. I wasn't fighting Cam, or I wasn't fighting any of those guys, but I was fighting the middleweights. Like back then, it was like, I don't know, Devin Didiomede and those guys, mm-hmm. and the middle class of like guys who were still like, I'm still going to try and play a little bit, so I fight those guys. And then I started scoring more. I got traded to Oshawa. I scored a bunch in Oshawa, and I was like, all right, fuck this. I don't need to fight these young guys anymore. I'm not doing that. And and then I went up to the AHL, same thing. I was there. I'll fight a couple times, fought the guys I thought I could handle. And then same thing, got to the NHL, was getting chased around by every fucking mutant there is on the planet, and was just like, if I fight one of them, I have to fight all of them. So I'm just like not going to fight any of them. And then I'll fight the guys who are down in my pool. And that's how it went. But yeah, man, I got punched out a couple times in junior. A couple of big guys grabbed me. I'm trying to think of a couple of guys' names, but you get in a scrum, and like everyone's always just looking for me. They just pick me out of the scrum, hit me with one. I'd be bleeding everywhere. Just go off, get some repairs. Like, take your lumps. It is what it is. It was never that bad though. It was never that bad.
You were hard to play against. So we all hated you. Not as a person. Yeah. You're a lovely human being. Yeah. Great hair, by the way. Keep taking that fucking hat off. I'm jealous. But they hated you, man. Like, you just had, because you didn't really talk much. Like, you weren't like that loud, I guess. Maybe you were, but you just did your thing, and you got ice time, and you drove everybody fucking nuts, man. It's a pretty good feeling to have sometimes when you got their whole fucking bench just rattled all the time.
I just knew it too. I just knew it. And like, again, the longer I would go without reacting or without fighting or without doing this, like the worse it would get. The worst was with the teams that like we played with all the time. Like when I was in mini, it was like Vancouver, Edmonton, like the game would start and I would like start the game, go hit somebody in the corner. And then it was just like a circus the rest of the game. Guys chasing me around every whistle. I'm getting headlocked, I'm getting suckered, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. Next thing you know, I like after the play, I'll go like scoot Taylor Hall's feet from under him and just kind of keep going. And I just knew that was my thing. I kind of loved it too. Like there's nothing like your senses getting excited when you know that there's 20 guys on the other side. They're just looking strictly for you, like that's all they want to do is get you today.
Kill you.
Yeah. The anxiety drives you, the anxiety would drive me for sure.
Anybody ever catch you hard with a hit where you're like just kind of coming up the ice, you get a little suicide pass and somebody steps up like, fucking, I got you back now?
Sergei Gonchar got me once in Minnesota. I didn't have the puck. It was like I went into the corner. I was playing right wing, so I went into the corner to kind of get a puck that might come up to the hash marks, and I kind of didn't come, so I kind of circled up to go back up to my point, and he was already coming down, and he like left his feet, like just murdered me. And I was like kind of out, but I was like, there's no way I'm staying down this motherfucker. So I just kind of got up and was like skating to the bench slowly and definitely concussed. And then I took 2 minutes on the bench and I was like, spent the rest of the game trying to fucking murder him. He got 5 for interference, but they didn't kick him out of the game. So I spent the third period trying to kill him, and I just never got him.
Dude, you hurt a lot of guys though, man. I mean, I love watching your hits
God,
today, just
yeah,
going
baby.
through
God,
because there's
yeah.
not that many pure hitters anymore. I mean, guys who truly have that reputation as being a pure hitter. But like, what's the key to not getting hurt when you're hitting all the time? Because I feel like guys get hurt when they're play physical too. It's not just from getting hit. A lot of guys get hurt from just delivering hits too.
Well, you got to be under control. You have to understand, and especially now in today's game with the rules being what they are, you have to understand, you have to have like plan A. If plan A is going in to kill this guy, plan B needs to be like, if this guy happens to turn a little bit at the last minute, or if this guy kind of stiffens up on you, you kind of need to be ready to react. It helps. Like I was always like, I played at like 215, 220 pounds. I'm 5'10". So like I got a lot of padding, like I was never the guy who was going to come in like ripped and skinny. It just wasn't me. And I would get hurt if I did. So I had a lot of padding, but I think for me, it was a lot of times my timing was just very good. I never really got outside of my body. I was never reaching with my arms or my shoulders. So my shoulders were pretty compact and my body was pretty like right here. And everything I did was kind of from my center and out. My legs were always firmly planted underneath me. And honestly, if there was a hit coming where I felt like I was in a bad spot, it would turn into a bump. I wouldn't go for the big one because you either get your elbow up, you lunge a little bit, next thing you know, you start clipping guys with elbows and shoulders. And you've all seen those hits where it's like, the argument is, well, yeah, like it is a tough bounce. It's like, well, a tough bounce is still on you now as a hitter. So you need to be prepared. So I was always like, if I wasn't driving through somebody's chest, then I wasn't doing it. Or I would bump them, or I would push them over with my hand. Like a lot of times you've seen me use my hand and just push guys over. I kind of bump them with this shoulder and then just push them backwards, kind of make it look bigger than it was, but it is what it is. That's how it is. I just wanted to make sure that I was in full balance when I would go in to hit somebody. If I wasn't, I would kind of just pull the chute.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I talked to Ryan Suter about that this year because he played in like 5,000 consecutive games or whatever, and like 10,000 games in his career. And he just said, he talked about the importance of saving your shoulders, so he always hits like his stick's always out. He gets away with a lot of stuff, I think, because
he does
how long he's been in the league, but I guess that's part of the key, right? You got to save those shoulders.
Yeah, I had one shoulder surgery over the course of 17 years, so I did pretty well. And it feels good now. So my shoulders are fine. I wouldn't say that I'm going to go throw, be a closer in the major leagues anytime soon, but they're good enough.
Well, it's nice to have, well, at least when you're in the island, to have big Matty Martin just right there. He's doing the hitting too, but he's sticking up for you, man, where you're like, no, I'm not fighting. Fucking Matty Martin's right there in his face. Every single scrum, he comes right, gets in front of you. I mean, that's a nice teammate right there. Although he's doing some damage as well, but it's nice to have him around.
It was nice. I was always blessed with somebody like that around. I mean, even when I first got to New York, it was Bolts and Carts. And, Johnny Boychuk was always hanging around for one, and Marty obviously was always there. And we loved it, like I would kind of poke the bee's nest and then he would kind of just swoop in, and Casey would be in a headlock in the corner with somebody, and then I'd end up with like Yanni Gord and be like, all right, let's go. Like, you know what I mean? It was always like that. And then in Mini, I had Boogie. I had Boogie.
Oh, Jesus, I forgot.
So it was, he was my roommate for the better part of a year. He played on my line. So I was always in good hands.
Man, I am glad you brought him up because of all the guys, like he actually did scare me. He did, because there's nothing you could really do to him. He was so fucking big, and he was a killer. Like, he wasn't that big guy, like, I guess I have to do this. No, he wanted to. But he's supposed to be, like, the nicest guy. Like, tell us about the Boogeyman.
So quiet. So just, like, ho-hum, goofy, just, like, quiet and, like, soft. Like, really soft. Like, would like be the guy you go in the morning, you'd like get a bear hug from him. It wasn't like a big, like, I'm going to crack your back hug. It was just like he would just like lay on you and he'd be like, dude, you're 280 pounds. Like, get off me. So, but he was just like, just the nicest guy. And, he did have that sort of switch where it was like, all right, like, I'm going to fucking kill you. But it always came from like it always came from either him having to get himself there, or it came from one of his teammates having suffered something that like put him there. You know, it wasn't like, I don't know that he had an easy time getting there. And I think that he struggled with that like as it went on. You know, his first couple of years, he was at the top of the mountain. I think it was easy for him to get there. I think there was maybe one or two guys that scared him back then. And then I think he got popped a couple times in years like 6, 7, and 8. And yeah, I think his mindset maybe changed a little. But no, man, he was just, like you said, there was just nothing you could do with him. Like, what are you really going to do with him? He's 6'8", he's 260 pounds. If he was doing his cardio, he was 280 pounds. If he wasn't, probably 280 more than he was 260. And he knew how to do it too. You know, it wasn't like he was just kind of a big dude. Like he knew how to do it. And there wasn't, I mean, I can't imagine somebody wanting to fight that guy. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, if you're telling me that you wanted to, you're a fucking liar. So it was, yeah, we miss him.
Yeah. Man.
You ever see anyone get the best of him ever in a fight?
Oh, yeah.
DJ King.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he playing with the Blues at the time?
Yeah,
Man,
it was
he
in the
got him
corners.
square. I remember.
I was
that.
on the team then.
He had the biggest hands.
Broke
Yeah.
his nose pretty bad.
Karkner.
Yeah. And then maybe McIntyre once.
Those two.
Stevie Mac. He's a cowboy, man. We had
awesome
him on.
guy. Cowboy up in Saskatchewan.
Yeah. And I think size-wise, he might be the only guy that, like, when they actually squared off, I was like, oh, shit. Like, he's right there.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he was big, but, like, holy shit. You know, when him and Boogie would, like, grab each other, I'd be like, wow. Like, normally Boogie's, like, this was, like, I was like, oh, boy. And he had that, like, meanness to him, too. Mac did.
Oh my God, yeah. He was one of the scariest guys. But Boogie went through a phase where he knocked out like fucking 11 guys in a row, including Trevor Gillies, who doesn't lose fights, right in front of the bench. Like, fuck. It freaked us all out, dude. He freaked all of us out. I was scared fucking going to mini. Like I was. Shit, you guys had Chris Simon and then Big John Scott at the time. I'm like, Jesus, what are we doing here?
And Todd Fedork.
And Todd.
Jesus.
Yeah. Ugh, horrifying.
Yeah, he knocked Todd out. He knocked Gillies out. He knocked McGrattan out. He knocked, I mean, yeah, it was like a 3-year stretch where he was just knocking everybody out.
Didn't Gillies have like a crazy hit on you? And he got like 9 or 10 games?
He got 12 games on me, yeah.
He just came back from a long suspension, didn't he?
40 seconds in.
40 seconds. Yeah, he
from
came
a 10
back.
gamer, he took a 12 gamer on me.
That's right.
Great guy.
Hilarious.
Crazy.
I still can't get over it. I've seen clips. Like, obviously, I come to Long Island. He played here for the majority of his career. So I hear stories about him all the time. My favorite is they show me this video of him shadowboxing the glass in like Peoria or something, like before a game in like a sauna suit. And I'm just like, this is unbelievable. Like, this guy is literally shadowboxing the glass, looking at himself, shadowboxing the glass before a game. It was just like, I thought it was the funniest thing on the planet. But yeah, like, it was nothing too. Like, this suspension he took, I was on Long Island. I hit a guy on the boards. It was like a normal hit. Next thing you know, I turn around and I just took a straight right hand right to the chin. Like, it just buckled me. I went down. He's like standing over me, barking. I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
40 seconds in.
40 seconds in. Like, it was 10 minutes into the game, but it was 40 seconds into his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's just coming off like a super long suspension.
Just come off the 10 gamer for the whole big Pittsburgh incident thing that he had.
Remember how he stood over the guy in Pittsburgh? Like, he was like, the door was open and he's off the ice, and the player, Tangradi or whatever, I'm trying to remember who it was.
He never played again.
Yeah, he's on the ice, like there's trainers there, and you got Gillies standing there off the ice with the door open, just chirping him while he's on the ice.
So funny, man.
Yeah, he's been kicked out, and he's like leaning over the thing, like just pointing at him out.
Yeah, I saw that. Goddamn right. That was played everywhere. Well, you're lucky he didn't hit you with a left hand because he's a lefty. That would have really fucked you up.
He might have actually. Anyway, whatever. He hit me and it hurt, and I was like, I remember being on the bus after the game, being like, fuck, like, concussed again. But like, oh well, we got to play the Rangers tomorrow night. Hopefully, I get through it tonight.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
A couple guys took big suspensions on you. Like, did you ever get suspended?
Wow.
Never.
Which is crazy,
Good for
man.
you.
All-time leader in hits and never been suspended.
Never even got a phone call.
I hope you take pride in that, man.
You should.
I do. A lot of pride in that. I mean, everybody who hits that much always runs into one incident, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You always have one where a guy falls weird or he turns his back. And it's like I said earlier, I always had a plan B. If I didn't like it, I just pulled shoot. I was like, I didn't want to, for two reasons. Like, I'm not out there. I wasn't out there to hit guys to hurt them. I was out there to hit them to annoy them or scare them. I wasn't there to hurt them. I wanted them to, like, just think about it. You know, if I end up knocking some guy out clean, like, sure, I knock him out clean, but how often does that really happen? It doesn't happen that often. I just wanted them to be thinking about it all the time. I wanted them to know I was out there or I was going to be out there, and I wanted them to make their decisions based on the fact that they knew I was out there. So I wasn't out there to try and hurt anybody. And if you go and hurt guys, if you do shit dirty, then you have to turn around and you have to fight everybody all the time. Like, so if you're going to be that guy, then you have to be that guy. My longevity wasn't going to be being suspended all the time and having to fight for actions and being like, I wasn't going like the Matt Cook route. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was doing my thing. Like, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to hit you hard. I'm going to do it clean. And if you have an issue with it, sorry, like, you got an issue with it. Fine. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep coming. So that was me. That was what I did.
Yeah.
And,
It was James Wisniewski who hit him. Who, remember, he
Oh,
came
Wizard.
on and he talked about
yeah.
it. He got fined like $500,000 and got 8 games
Great guy.
for his hit on you, man. So, like, you may not have gotten suspended, but you drew a lot of suspensions from
Yeah,
others.
he hit me. It was preseason game too.
Yeah.
It's dumb. I was like,
Oh,
what is that?
yeah.
That was so dumb. He kind of elbowed me coming across the middle. You know, like, he was just like, he had a short fuse, so he's one of those guys I could prey on, you know, because he would just fly off the handles real quick. So, yeah, I might have got under his skin a little. He flew off the handle.
In the preseason.
You know what the
That's
best
what
feeling?
Tommy Wilson does in the preseason.
Well, he used to do that, but now he
Snaps.
doesn't. But you know what the best feeling is as a hitter, though, is when you go on the forecheck and the guy's thinking you're gonna fucking kill him, and he leaves the puck for you, and you don't even touch him, you just grab the puck and make a play.
Yes,
That probably happened a ton for you.
it happened a ton, especially later in the career. Even like back in the day, the D weren't that mobile. So like when you had a guy lined up, you're like, I don't care what he does at this puck, I'm gonna drill him because there's nowhere for him to go.
Yeah.
Kids are a little quicker now. They spin off. They do this. They do that. So now I'll just like yip a little when I'm going. I'll be like, oh, heads up, heads up, heads up. And they don't know where, you know. And then so like they would like overskate it. And the next thing you know, you just kind of have to bump them a little bit. You got the puck, like you're just looking at the net front. It was a lot of that late in my career. Because like I said, like they know you're out there. They don't want it. Like they're a little scared. Like they are. So it was nice when they would leave one for you.
So, listen, some buildings are a little more generous with the hits than others, right? Like where's the hardest place to get a hit? Because,
Yeah. it's
you
true.
know, if David Backus went into Toronto, he may get 11 hits, or in LA, he may get 13 hits. And then the same game in St. Louis, maybe he's not getting 13, or if it's in Chicago or whatever. So did you ever, you had over 4,000 hits most of all time, but did you ever get frustrated? Like, which building was tough to get the credit for the hit?
It's a good question. I never actually even, I don't know that I've looked that often. I want to say, I always felt like I was shortchanged everywhere I went, by the way. So like every game you're like, oh, I had to have had like 6 or 7 tonight. And you go and there's like 2 or 3 on there. You're like, but you get used to that. I'd say, I feel like maybe Montreal, I don't know, but I really can't say for sure. But like a couple years ago, 3 years ago or so, they started auditing, right? Because you can gamble on this stuff now. So the league started auditing the hits.
Really?
So like, all I know is in the first audit, the top 3 guys on the list were dropped like 30 or 40 hits, and I went up 45. So
Really?
Kind of shortchanged, yeah. But that only happened like 3 years ago. I do get that a lot. People are like, oh, your home hit counters are like juicing it up. And, you know, my response is like, whatever. I don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? Anybody who either watched me play or played against me knows I was out there doing it all the time. So the actual numbers are relevant.
So what do you mean by auditing? Like, what would they do? They'd really go back and watch the game
will
again?
go in and like watch the game tape and say like,
Jesus.
hit yes, hit no, or like, here's a hit that wasn't counted. So that for the betting, they can go and if you bet on 3+ hits tonight, they can go in and say firmly like, yes, it wasn't just a hit counter in St. Louis that gave you 3. You know what I mean? It was like the league official has decided that that's 3 hits.
God,
So
I got to meet that guy who
Yeah, and
does
you-
that for a job.
well, any of your buddies like, hey, motherfucker, I got 5 G's on this shit. You better get 3 fucking hits.
No shit.
Like, right?
it never happened, but I'm sure it's happened. It goes to that. I think it goes without saying. I think my number was probably 3 a night. I was like, I played 1,000 games. I had 4,000 hits. So on average, I'd probably average 4 hits a game. So my hits probably over under 3.5 for me on most nights.
5 G's on it.
Did it hurt, or did you just go down like to draw the penalty when Bertuzzi slashed you in the knee? Did that really get you in a bad spot?
Not
or
that
what?
bad. No.
Did he get suspended for that? He something
No, he
happened.
didn't. He didn't. He got a 5-minute slashing penalty, and we scored 4 goals on the power
That's
play.
what it is.
5-1.
Fair.
That's what it
was.
was.
He had just been called up too. He wasn't even a full timer yet. It's 5-1. He's just like, I gave him a little shot going to the bench. He turned around and like baseball swing me. It did kind of hit me like on the head of the quad, and I was like, ooh, that hurt. But I'm like, I might be able to sell this one a little.
I remember seeing that. I'm like, dude, there's no way it hurt you that hurt you.
I honestly wish that we hadn't scored 4 goals because people bring that shit up to me all the time. And I'm just like, yeah, didn't hurt that much.
What about when Yogs caught you?
Oh shit, I saw that
In the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
in
in
Florida. Yeah, that hurt. That was greasy, actually. I think it was like middle of the ice. We were kind of turning both ways, and he kind of elbowed me. That hurt. You know how big he is, right? Like, that fucking hurt.
Fuck yeah.
That dazed me. I was like back in the room trying to like, stick my face in the cold tub, trying to like, bring it back. That one hurt. But that was a greasy series. Shawn Thornton actually almost killed me with my own jersey in that series too.
Choking you?
Choked me.
Yeah, then he was
like, he came up from behind me and picked both of them up and like twisted them this way.
Oh.
And he like had me off the ground, and I was trying to like do something, and I was blacking out, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucked up. Like, I'm gonna die. So
it's a horrible
I was
feeling.
pissed about that one too. I was like, dude, come on. But I was being a fucking annoying fuck, I guess. So
they got him on the hot mic.
Yeah,
he was chirping you. They got him on the hot mic,
so funny, dude.
like chirping you. It's got to be the same scrum.
Yeah, saying I can't breathe because I couldn't fucking breathe.
Oh, that's what it was.
Like, yeah, I can't breathe. I'm like, I can't fucking breathe.
He's like,
Shawn.
wah, wah.
Oh,
It's the
man.
only time I've said fuck you in a handshake line. We won that series, and he was like, all right, everyone's like, good series, man, good series, man, good series, man. And I was like, Shawn Thornton came through. I was like, fuck you, man.
What'd he say back?
He was just like, come on. I was like, fuck you, get away from
Oh.
me. Yeah.
Fucking choke me.
I was like, come on, like, sucker me, do something. He fucking choke me from behind my jersey. I was pissed, but
Yeah.
I probably deserved it too.
Probably.
Give me the name of somebody that you knew that you just owned, and you would chirp. Were you a big chirper or no? You didn't talk a lot.
I
guess?
was early.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck, I don't know.
Like
Somebody
you just
had
had fun with them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Drove him nuts.
like
There's a lot
Pronger,
of guys,
listen,
man.
Pronger did that with all these young guys that
Yeah.
came in. Like he would do it to Rick Nash and to Kane and Taves. Just like own these guys when they first came into the league and have fun with it. But,
Bully him.
Yeah, I would say like probably a lot of the Vancouver guys back in the day, Burroughs, Kessler, Sedins. I was always all over them. And then Bieksa would come in and say his piece, the usual. And then in New York, it was always with the Caps. We always had battles with the Pens or the Caps. So it was always trying to get in Sid's face, always trying to get in like Gensel's face, and then I'm just trying to think of the playoff series. It was always like the best player, like probably the Gensels of the world that were like never going to do anything. And you were just kind of like, I'm living rent free and I'm coming to get you. And you don't know when it's coming. Like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Every face off, always just trying to constantly like reinforce the fact that you were on my mind and I was thinking about getting you and I'm going to get you. So that was it for me. And then, when I was younger, I just didn't care. I chirped anybody. First time I ever got called up, I was chirping Crosby like from the bench, and like the older guys were just like, "The fuck are you doing?"
Shut the fuck up.
He had 4 points. We lost 4-1. They were like, "Don't ever do that again." I was like,
that's
sorry,
funny.
fair.
Who'd you hit along the wall and they fell and like, oh, And he hit the back of his head on the ice. The stretcher had to come out. Was it Ottawa? You were playing at Ottawa.
Oh yeah, that was I think that was Eric Brandstrom.
Eric Brand. That's exactly who it was. And then Giroux was talking to you on the ice or whatever. What was he saying to you? Was he being chill or was he all worked
No,
up?
he just was like, "What happened?" I was like, "I hit him, and he hit his head on the ice." I think because I hit him and I kept skating forward, so I didn't see it actually at all. And then DJ Smith was yelling from the bench at me a little, and he's like, "You slew footed him." I'm like, "I didn't slew foot him." I'm like, "What are you talking about? I would know if I did." And so Giroux was like, "DJ saying you slew foot him. Did you slew foot him?" I'm like, "I don't know." And then Brady came over, same thing. I'm like, "I don't think so. I think he just hit his head." And then you watch the replay, his feet kind of went up and landed right on the back of his head. That was bad. I don't like that shit. Like I felt horrible. I don't like seeing that.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely didn't slew foot him for sure. He just kind of like blew a tire almost as you hit him, and he couldn't brace himself for the fall. You know.
Sometimes you get a guy pinched up against the glass and there's no friction. They just get stuck and their feet keep going. And like he just happened to fall right on his head. But I felt badly about that one. That happens all the time.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the stretcher came out. So that's why. You know what I mean?
Everybody's looking at you like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, I hit him.
Yeah.
You know. But you had some nice goals too, man. Shit, you went in one time, baby, and you fucking, I think it went bar down, and then Ovi's back checking. And he's back checking on you so hard, and then he toe picks or tries to dive, and he runs right into the back of the, like, what a cool feeling that is. You score a goal, and fucking Alexander Ovechkin's like hung up in the net, almost dead because he almost killed himself trying to back check against you.
I think that was in the playoffs too. I think it was in the playoffs. We, everyone always gives me a hard time because the only place I ever scored was like high glove, bar down. It was like, that's where I like to shoot it.
Goddamn right.
And so yeah, most of my highlights are like 2-on-1s and pocket plays, but no, it was good. I could shoot it for sure.
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Bergeron, the skate that got you on the wrist, man. I could hear. I think it was you yelling like in pain. Like when you looked at your wrist, like how bad was it? How much time did you miss? What was the result of that skate cut?
So it severed my median nerve. So my hand immediately kind of went like this, like necrotic. So my fingers shut, my hand kind of shut like this. So felt like I was getting shocked, like electrical shocks, like crazy. Just like went totally dead and numb. It's still numb. I can't feel it to this day. It's gone. Like the feeling's gone. I had a surgery to fix it so I can get my motion back, which took about 3 months of hand therapy probably to be able to like grab a stick. And then they told me the feeling might come back after like a year or two, which it hasn't. It's been like almost 6 years now, 6 years. So it's still numb, but it is what it is. And yeah, when I got cut, I looked down and I was like, the feeling of like the hand, and then I saw the cut and I was like, I was slashed from like corner to corner on my wrist. And I just looked down and my immediate thought was like, oh shit, like I got to get to a doctor, an ambulance or something. Like I don't want to bleed out here at TD Garden. That's going to suck. So I kind of just quickly ran to the dressing room. They took me quickly into the Bruins room, and then they started to throw like this like, military grade coagulant on there to make sure that like if I was bleeding to just like make sure it stopped. And then they started fishing around for the nerve and stuff. And it was a nightmare. So they kind of just wrapped me up, sent me to the hospital once the bleeding was under control. And then, and then I went back to New York, had surgery the next morning, hoping that it would all work out. And, it was pretty well successful. I have no issues with like using it. Like I said, I don't have any feeling. So, carrying little things like keys or, like I'll drop them and not notice, but pretty well it.
So if I shook your hand, lefty, like you wouldn't feel it?
No, I would feel it in my pinky. That's it. I wouldn't feel anything.
Does that affect your golf game?
It does, big time.
Fuck
big
yeah.
Time. Yeah. My short game, putting, chipping, shit like that, like it really kind of fucking with my feel. But I'm working on it.
Damn.
Yeah, Jesus.
That's scary, man.
It is. That's
Did
weird.
you start wearing that Kevlar wrist protection after that?
Yeah. Yeah. I wore the Kevlar wrist protection after that. I always wore the socks. always. I've been cut a bunch. Like my first game with the Islanders, I got 70 stitches in my quad from one. I hit this kid. I hit Paul Byron. His feet came up similar to Brandstrom, but they came up like inside of my leg. That one spot in your pants where the zipper is, just like dug in, clipped me, and ripped me. I like had to sew my quad together. I had one on my other hand. Got one in the face. Had one in the ribs. Like I've been cut a million times. Like when you're getting into those collisions often, like it's amazing those skates will come up and like clip you, nip you. Like if I didn't have the cut-proof socks on, like my calves and my Achilles would have been shredded at least 10 times, at least. So I started wearing them on my wrists and then on my kind of vitals, like my quad, and then over the back of my Achilles, and then on my wrists, and then a little bit under my, like in my rib cage area like that. So I started being pretty geared up.
You ever get cut in the neck?
No, but it came close. And there's a couple close calls. Like Josh Bailey took one like right in the chin right here, kind of just dug in and punctured him. It's like wasn't a huge thing, but it's like, you know, and like you see it happen, you're like waiting to see what the result's going to be, and you're like, oh shit. He comes back and there's just a little puncture wound right here, and you're like, fuck. Then Johnny Boychuk took one like right here. And it was just like the double edge of the blade, just a scratch. But it was like, you know, it was right there, like another, you know, pound of pressure. And that was that. And then Johnny took one in the eyeball, which effectively ended his career. So I've seen it and it's scary. It's scary.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
What about, did you get suspended when you...
He never got suspended.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So you didn't get suspended when you fucking punched the linesman.
No, I didn't.
Man, I laughed at that. And I like that linesman. I know he was in a weird spot and was tying the guy up, but God, was that funny to watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome. He actually was reffing the next game 2 nights later, and he came into the room before because I wanted to apologize to him, and he actually apologized to me, which is so strange because like the refs at that time hated me too. I had to learn that lesson. I had to be nicer to those guys. I didn't realize how difficult I was making it on them to ref the game by being a complete shit rat, you know? So I needed to realize that I needed to be like buddies with them so that they can like give me the benefit of the doubt.
There it is.
So this is before that, but Ryan happened to be friendly with me anyways. And Kessler was just being a complete idiot, trying to like, we were scrumming and he was trying to pick me up and throw me into their bench. And like, finally I was just like, I got my glove off and I was like, I got a chance to hit him over the pile. I'm going to hit him with one. So I threw one, nothing happened. I threw a second one. It was like a little left. The second one, I hit somebody. So I was like, okay, there, I got him. So I went to throw again. And then like, I think in the clip, he like takes his whistle off and like grabs my hand. And it's just like, he's like, no way. And then their whole bench is just like, you're fucked. You're fucked. You just hit the linesman. And I was like, what? So I go to the box and they're trying to sort it out. Nothing really came of it. I never got suspended. I don't even think I got a penalty. It was just, he actually blamed Kessler for that one. So I got away with it.
Didn't you end up in the Vancouver bench? Was that the same game or a different game when you ended up in their bench? That's
when I tried to hit Burroughs and I completely missed them and went flying into their bench.
Flying.
Were they trying to get you with their stick? Like, fuck you, motherfucker. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I like, obviously, it's not the first time I've been in another bench. So like, I just try and get out of there as quickly as possible. Maybe throw like a quick, like no-look jab on the way out, just for good measure. But no, I got out as fast as I went in. It's like, as soon as I missed Burroughs, I was like, all right, I'm not going to slow down. I'm just going to hurt myself. I'm just going to take it, flip over the boards, get back up, get back out there. And you can see them all. They're all kind of confused. They're all changing at the time too. So there's like 5 of them kind of around me, and I just hopped the bench and go play. Like it was like I was hopping off my own bench. No time to linger here, boys. I'll see you later.
Get me out of there.
Did you hate that Burroughs, man? I feel like you guys would just go at it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wanted him so bad. I wanted him so bad all the time. He was just like, if you can believe it or not, he would annoy me. You know what I mean? Like, that's how annoying he was. He would annoy me, and I was not easily annoyed. Let's put it that way. I was always doing the annoying. He fucking bothered me a lot.
But like what, though? Like, what did he do differently than you?
Nothing. He just was like, he was like a little more just like needly and dirty. He didn't really talk. And like, I wanted to fight him always, you know? So I would always ask him to go, and he'd be like, he would always give some stupid response where he wouldn't respond. And then he would go and do something dirty to like Pierre-Marc Bouchard. And then I would go back over and I'd be like, all right, now's the time. Like, you got, like, here's your chance, blah, 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 blah. And he would just like turn around, or he would like try and slew me, or he would like, submarine me when I would go to hit him. And those guys were annoying, man. Really annoying. Like,
Oh, I know.
just,
When
yeah, him and Kessler.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, it was always, that was so long ago though now, man. I don't, feels like 30 years ago.
when you and Matt Martin sandwiched Chara,
Oh,
and he like lost his mind, he went like crazy. Were you thinking this guy like wants to kill us right now? He
It's
might.
the
you
only-
didn't know it was you.
It's the only time I tried to hide on a hockey rink. I was like, it's like trying to go down the tunnel just to be like, hey, my gloves need fixing, something. Marty hit him, and I wasn't expecting Marty to knock him over. So we were going to sandwich him at the same time. And Marty knocked him over again, like plan B. I kind of like was like, oh shit, big man's going down. Just so happens that my elbow kind of clipped his helmet off, and then he went down, and then he got up like in a fit of rage. And there I was like head down, skate, like back checking as hard as I could. And then the whistle went. He's like after Marty, and Marty sold me out. He's like, it was him. Like, and then Kelly Sutherland gave me a penalty just to give me a penalty. He's just like, just go sit for 2 minutes. Just like, let the big man calm down. I'm like, I'll take it. Like, send me away. I'm like, give me a 10-2 if you want. No problem. But they gave me 2 for elbow, and it was really nothing. And then I ended up playing with Z later, and he's just like, we hashed that one out. And I was like, hey man, if you watch, I could have actually killed you. And I just kind of stopped, and I went to turn away. And as I was turning away, my elbow kind of clipped you in the head, and like, sorry, but he's like, no. I watched the video after. He's like, we're good. I'm like, thank God.
Is he the strongest
scary.
human
Scary.
being you ever went into a corner with? By far.
Strongest for sure, like just walking around in the street. He like could do, he could do 45 pull-ups. He's, 250 pounds, 6'9". It's like, it's unheard of. It just doesn't exist. He just lives in the gym. He like, it's like his passion. It's his hobby. He like, some of us like to play golf or hunt or fish. He likes to like lift weights and run, which I don't understand, but he was like incredible in that way. He was like, what was he, 45 when he played with us? And he was like completely shredded and could do like I said, 45 chin-ups on a regular just day. We just knock him off. Like, why?
Because there's no mountain to climb. He's fucking climbing mountains in goddamn Europe.
Well, he's running marathons now all over the world.
He cycles
doing
everywhere.
triathlons. And I remember talking to him his first year after he retired. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I drop the kids off at school around 9. I get on my bike and I ride until it's time to pick them up. I'm like, what time do you pick them up? He's like, 3:30.
Jesus.
I'm like, you ride your bike from 9 to 3:30? He's like, yeah. I'm like, where? He's like, wherever. I'm like, what? So it's running, then it was biking, then it was swimming. Now it's all 3 together.
Did he
Ironman
hang?
and all
Did he
commands.
hang with you though? Like, would you guys go out and shit? Would he hang?
He would hung a couple times. I would say he's pretty. I wouldn't say he's like a hanger for like, I was like always like a last guy to leave type of guy. So definitely not that. But he would definitely come hang for a while, go to dinner, and maybe spend an hour after dinner hanging, and then head out. But definitely not a goer for sure.
I gotta ask you
jog
about
home.
like one of like I love when the players are mic'd if they actually like air good stuff, and one of the like funniest clips ever is Matty Martin chirping Drew Miller for his like silver hair or whatever. He was like, your hair I was in the minors longer than you. Whatever. Did he ever did you ever talk to him about that? Like, we've always wanted to get Matt Martin on.
Yeah.
I just gotta ask him about like chirping Drew Miller. Nice hair.
Poor Drew.
We like Ryan Miller, man,
We gave Marty a hard time about that for years.
I
Because it
bet.
was like, dude, really? He's like, we were playing Detroit. You knew he was mic'd up, didn't you? You knew it. You were like, you had that one in the holster. You had it ready to go. You started the altercation, but no, it was pretty funny. I mean, that clip still pops up in my Instagram feed, like to this day. It was like 12, 15, 13 years ago. But yeah, pretty funny. I mean, and just the minors thing to like go on top of it. You were in the minors longer than me, you dumb fuck. Like, it's so good.
It's great.
It's so good. It's exactly it's like so PG too. Like, you think the guys are just like, so vulgar out there, and this is
Right.
just a gentlemanly argument about going to dye someone's hair and how long they spent in the minors. It's so funny.
It's like elementary school, like
It is.
schoolyard banter. You know
Schoolyard
what I mean?
beef for sure. For sure.
Would Boomer Esiason hang out around? He's married to Boomer's daughter, right? Like,
Yeah.
is he around a lot? Like, he's got to be a cool guy, man. Boomer.
I played golf with him yesterday.
Did you?
I see him all the time. He's got his radio show here in the city, and we see him a lot. Yeah, he's a cool guy. He's got a huge foundation for CF. His son Gunner's got cystic fibrosis, and he's raised like hundreds of millions of dollars. And the life expectancy for CF kids has gone up dramatically directly due to his foundation. And Gunner I think he just had his second child, which for people with CF was deemed to be impossible. So he's broken that barrier. He does a lot of work with that. So he's great. He's a diehard Ranger fan, which makes for good banter between us and him. And he's always on the radio and having us call in, and kind of we get a little mouthy with him on the radio, and he likes to chirp a little. So we have a good relationship with him. And obviously Marty and Sid, his daughter's one of our close friends, and they're about to have twins, actually, Marty. So twin boys on the way for the Martins sometime in the next week or two. So that should be fun for them. They've already got 2 girls. But yeah, no, just a cool family. See them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard
Beautiful family.
of Gunnar Esiason since he was like a little baby.
Sports
basically.
Illustrated.
You know what I mean? Like when Boomer was playing, like he had that foundation going. That's crazy. I didn't know he was married and kids and all that type of stuff, man. So,
Yeah.
good for him.
Yeah. How was your relationship with Lou? And did you ever have to pull a guy aside and be like, hey, motherfucker, you can't have that. You got to change that. You got to do this because he's coming in. And by the way, he's not even in here yet, but he's looking at you anyway because he sees everything. Like, did you have to really pull guys aside and be like, hey, man, the big boy's watching at all times?
Yeah. It was just, my relationship with him was great. You know how he is. Like, he takes care of the guys. So, like, if you follow the very simple rules of life, then your life is very easy and fun under Lou. There's definitely things you can't do, but for as many things as you can't do, you can do twice as many things. You get twice as much on the backside anyway. So now that that's out of the way, people realize pretty quickly, whether I tell them or not, that he's always there. Anytime you mention his name, and you know this, like if you're in the room, if you're at practice or whatever, his name comes up, everyone will always do this because like he always walks in the room. And it's not like people are just like, oh, is he listening? No, he's probably not listening. He's just always there. He's always on the move. So he's always kind of doing laps, and you could probably almost time him for when he comes around, when he's coming around next. So he's always there. He has a great pulse on what's going on. He always knows what's going on. He knows what's going on before sometimes the guys even know what's going on. And he does a great job of making sure that things are in order so that all you have to do is go out there and worry about playing the game. And we had a lot of success with that. We had teams where we had veteran teams that had a lot of success with that. And going through COVID with him was interesting because I think a lot of people made the mistake of these are extenuating circumstances. It's okay. We're going to do what we can. We're going to play as well as we can. And Lou was like, listen, you motherfuckers, like we got an opportunity. Everyone's going to take this lazily. Everyone's going to fucking do this. Everyone's going to be half-assed. We're not going to be half-assed. Like we'd have a call once a week during COVID when everyone's just like, there's no way this season gets played. There's no way we're playing the playoffs. We'd have a call once a week. This is your weekly reminder, like this shit is starting and it's starting soon. So like you guys have been on it. We've been on it this whole time. We've already got a leg up on everyone who's not doing it right now. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. And we went into the bubble and we just killed everybody until we got to Tampa. We kind of ran out of steam a little. We had 7 games against Philly, and then we had to fly to Edmonton the next day and play the next night. Got blown out in game 1, and then kind of were behind the 8 ball. But it's true. Nobody could believe how prepared we were for that. And that was all Lou and Barry. It was great.
It's a good combo.
Listen, a couple more things and we'll let you go, man. You've been
awesome.
great. We appreciate it. Your teams in New York, man, you guys had some great teams and a lot of great players who you play with. A lot of guys have been there for a long time. But Anders Lee, like, what should we know about this guy? Like, how good of a high school quarterback was he? Do you guys ever like go back and watch his footage and his thighs just being absolutely monsters? Like, how much fun you guys had chirping him, and how great of an athlete is that guy?
He is an extremely talented athlete. It's unique because he's like a speed skater growing up. You can almost see it when he skates in a straight line. He's got like his toes are out a little bit and he's got the speed skating stride. So when he was a cyclist, so his quads are that big because he was a speed skater and a cyclist. He's like always in a squat position in some way, always using his quads. Now we caught wind of Leezy's football career early on, and we had this shitty practice rink when I first got here. It was like out in the middle of Syosset. It's still there. It's kind of a dump. And we would warm up in the parking lot. So like on the concrete in the parking lot. But the parking lot was pretty big. So one day I'm like, Leezy, how far can you throw this football? So I gave him a football. And he's like, how about this? He's like, how about you start running as fast as you can and don't stop running until the ball like lands in your hands. He's like, you're going to look back at the football. Don't stop running. So I start running. And I swear to God, he waited like 3 seconds. He threw that thing like, had to have been 70 yards. And I was running as fast as I could. And I'm like, I'm not slow. And I was literally tracking this thing down and I missed it by like 10 yards. Thing was in the air for like 8 seconds, like perfect spiral. It was like 40 feet in the air. I couldn't catch up to it. And he gave me like a 3-second head start. It was incredible. Like we would play these little pickup flag games in the parking lot. And he was just, he'd throw a dime and it would like hurt your chest cavity when you caught it. You know what I mean? The other guys are just like flicking it around and he's just like, you could hear it like through the air. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
He's an athlete.
Yeah,
good
athlete.
What do you want to do, man? You're a smart guy. You played over 1,000 fucking games. Like, what do you want to do now? Besides chill and hang with the kids, but do you want to coach? You want to be a GM someday? Like, what do you want to do?
I don't know. I think I thought about it a little more recently. I was obviously looking for a GM president, so it kind of puts it into perspective a little. I did a little TV this year, so that was fine. That was good, like right out of the game, sort of like not too involved, not too emotionally attached, just kind of, I did about 30 games on TV. That was fun. I don't know. I think GMing and coaching, I think I might need a couple year break before I go back into that being like putting that much time into it. I don't want to be married to it forever. I feel like I did my time, you know how it is from the time you're 6 years old to like last year. Every decision I made in my life was based on where I was in my hockey career. So I just want to take a little break. But I wouldn't rule out coaching or GMing. I think maybe GMing over coaching. Coaching is pretty, it's a difficult business. You're probably going to be moving around a lot. And you know how much time those guys spend there watching video these days. I'm not sure that I would be able to put in the same amount of effort. I might be, if I was coaching, I might be a little more old school. Let's put it that way. I think I would watch a little less tape and do a little more philosophy maybe with the guys, but we'll see. I don't know what the answer to that question is yet, but for now I'm just going to play golf and hang out.
Yeah, dude.
So listen, I don't know how much hockey you watched this past year, but that Sherwood kid in Vancouver had a ton of hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who do you like watching? Like, who are the best hitters in the game today that you feel like really know how to hit, know how to deliver hits? They don't take penalties. They're not taking suspensions. And, the guy they're hitting, feels it, right? They're effective.
Yeah. Sherwood definitely was one, high volume, doesn't take many penalties. I think he scored 20. So a nice combination of physicality and skill. I appreciate Tom Wilson's game quite a bit. I played against him a ton. I think he's kind of cleaned up the suspension part of the game. He's found his balance. He had 30 this year. I think he's one of those guys that's left in the game that kind of hits through guys. Like when he hits guys, it's like he takes more of a chunk of the guys. Some guys will go and hit the glass and like just catch the hands or catch the arms, and more for show than anything else. I think Tom's really good at punishing. Like, I'm a huge Sam Bennett fan. I think Sam Bennett, just like what doesn't he do really? Just one of those guys, when you look at that Florida team, they've got this makeup that is like, they've got kind of dogs on every line, and they're, and he's right up there with like maybe the lead dog or dog number 2, and he hits really hard. Very good player, pretty disciplined. Big fan of his. And there's some defensemen too, like Alex Romanov hits pretty hard for the Isles. He's caught a couple kids pretty solid. Yeah, there's some resurgence to the physical play. I was joking around with somebody saying that there's no way that record's ever going to be broken, except for Ovi plays for a million years. He's probably going to break
Jesus.
it, but I think he's got 300 to go, but which is impressive, by the way, what he's doing. But yeah, no, it's nice to see kids come out and be physical and use it as their way to get into the league and get a shot.
Hey, listen, last thing for you, though. Tavares, did you guys play junior together or just both play in Oshawa? Were you there at the same time?
We were there at the same time. Yeah, I was his chaperone there for a couple of years.
So when he left Long Island and then came back, like, we saw how the fans reacted, which is just crazy. We had Calvin DeHaan on, actually. He was talking about it. He's another Oshawa boy. I don't know if you were there at the same time with him or not. But with Tavares, like, leaving, going to Toronto, like, how'd the players take it? As emotional as the fans? Oh. Probably not, right?
No, we didn't make any News 12 hate videos to put out.
You didn't burn his jersey?
You didn't burn his jersey? Get out of here.
You didn't throw his jersey on the ice?
Bonfire with all of his memorabilia. Listen, he's a very close friend of mine. He was getting married that summer. I was in his wedding party. It was his decision to make, and he made it. And I understand that, you get a chance to go home as the big fish. He was on Long Island for probably the worst years you could be on Long Island. Ownership up in questions, arena questions. It was basically, Snowy was doing what he could with what he had, but he was basically an accountant trying to make sure that we didn't spend too much cash. That's what it was like when I first got here. And you can't blame somebody for leaving that situation, quite frankly. So we all understood. And then, we turned around by winning the division the following year, going to the second round, and then we went to 2 conference finals after that. So, for us, we kind of just moved on, right away, and our personal relationships were what they were and are what they are. But he made the choice to go, and you can understand why. If you grew up in Toronto and you're the phenom that he is and was, and you get a chance to go and be the guy that breaks the spell, then it's enticing. So we all understood. A little disappointed for sure, but things have a way of working out. I think it might have worked out better for us in the long run. You got Matt Barzal came in, had the freedom to go do what he was going to do. Brock Nelson had a chance to come and become the player he is today. Anders Lee, Ryan Strome, and Eberle came in. Like we had some. We had
Great
some really
teams.
good teams.
Yeah, you did.
I talked to Nicoletti all about your teams, man. You guys had some really good teams. Scotty Mayfield's my boy. Like I just love to see them get over the hump one of these days. You think Tavares will stay in Toronto? And what do you make out of everyone saying, "Oh my God, there's so much pressure for the players in Toronto"? Like, is that a excuse you buy into, or no? Because everybody has pressure.
The real thing. It's a real thing. It's like. Is it the reason? I don't know, but it's a real thing. And there's not people have made the argument like, there's that kind of pressure in big markets like Boston or Montreal or
yeah.
It's like, no, there isn't. Montreal won a cup in like 93. We made it to the finals a couple of years ago. Boston's won cups recently. Like there is nothing like it in maybe North American pro sports that I can compare them to. And not only that, it's just it's a negative sort of mindset. So like for me, there's nothing else in Toronto, right? You got the Jays, you got the Raptors, you got the Leafs. By far the Leafs are the most important. The Jays being the second, the Raptors are their number 3. Like it's all the whole country talks about. If you're not in Vancouver or you're not in Montreal or Quebec, the whole country's talking about the Leafs. And when you go to get your coffee in the morning, it's game day and you got to get your coffee. You got 16 people asking you, "Are you going to do it today? Are you going to do it? You're going to be the one that finally ends the string of losing that you know what I mean?" It's just constant. and it's difficult. Now, that's not to say that like I don't think that their team could use a couple tweaks when it comes to like overcoming that, but I think it plays a huge part.
Does Tavares ever call you up and say, "God, we need a guy like you on this team"?
No shit.
No, he hasn't, but maybe he should have.
Oh shit!
They've tried. I mean, they've tried, man. They've tried to get some guys in there, but you know, the issue with that too is like you have to, if you're going to get a guy like that in there, you have to use them. You know,
Yeah.
the thing about Marty and Casey and I on Long Island is we were playing a lot, playing 12, 13 minutes. We would also play against other teams' skill guys. So, you know, we had a job to do then, so our guys can go out there and try and beat up on lines 3 through 4, which made us kind of effective. You know, so we'd be out there for 13 to 15 minutes, and we'd have the chance to get in those guys' faces. It's different if you got like Revo on the bench, barking from the bench, is like Sid's taking the face off at center ice. It's like, oh yeah, he's, you know, huge. Like that's a big deal, you know. It's different when you're taking the face off against Sid every time, and every scrum you're kind of like grabbing his earpiece and you're just like in his ear. Just same thing, like I said with Gensel, like I'm coming to get you, I'm coming to get you. So it's different, and you have to be able to use them. When your skill guys play 25 minutes, it's difficult. Like you don't see Barkov playing 25 minutes unless he has to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, last thing for you, so we don't get yelled at on Twitter for not asking you about it. But like Welland, Ontario, home of Biz. Like, when did you first meet Biz? And we love Biz. Like, how old were you when you first met him? And like, is this what you saw for him in the future? Was he always loud, entertaining, the comedian? Like, is this who he was as a kid?
I want to say he was. I might have been 9, 10, or 11, somewhere around there. He was as square and as quiet as they come. Big afro. Just didn't say much. Was kind of like just a normal kid. I think the first time I ever went to the bar, he drove there because in his mom's minivan. I was in the back of the car. I used someone's ID. I went in and yeah, no, he started to develop that. Like I want to say when he went to Saginaw and came back, and then I think when he went to like where did he go first? Wheeling. He went to Pittsburgh and then he went to Wheeling. He started to develop this like sort of like extroverted personality. He started fighting. He started getting big, and you know he started to develop. And then he was in Arizona and we were training together in the summers. And he sent his first tweet from my house. He was in my living room and he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about joining this Twitter thing." And I'm like, "Biz, like I told the foreplay guys this. I'm like, Biz, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, you know, you're a hockey player. Like, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble on that thing. Like, just maybe don't do it." And he went ahead and did it anyway. I had to correct the tweet because he was like, he doesn't know how to spell. Obviously, he's like a French kid from Welland. And next thing you know, like from that tweet to now, is just like this timeline of constant growth and popularity. And I got to give him credit, man, because he's like influenced hockey in a way that I could have never, ever imagined. You know, I mean, talk about somebody finding their way to leave the mark on the game. And he's only like, you know, I feel like he's only in like the third or fourth inning. He's going to keep going. I feel like he's turning himself into like the next Don Cherry, which is hilarious.
Yeah, no doubt.
Same kind of story, you know, but good for him. He's like, you know, I've always been a big fan of his. I saw how hard he worked when he played and how much of a stretch it was for him to go out there and fight every night. He was never that kid growing up. He just made himself that guy so that he could go out there and do it. And I have all the respect in the world for him.
Yeah, and he's a nice kid too.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy. He's a nice dude. What is Clutterbuck? Is that German?
It used to be back in the day with a K. Yeah, but it's British English as far as my lineage is concerned. But there's rumblings that it traces back to the old Saxon days.
Oh yeah, interesting.
You got any other hobbies besides golf? You ride motorcycles or anything like that?
No, I play guitar. Play guitar. I do a little singing and do a gig here or there. I golf. I used to like draw quite a bit. I don't do that as much anymore. Maybe I'll start doing that again. What else?
Country music? Country music?
Country music.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah, country music. Especially these days, like I'm finding it hard to find anything other than country that's you know, music, half decent at least. Feel like all the songwriters are in that space now, shifting from like folk to country.
Yeah.
Country's kind of dominating right now.
Beyonce's in country now too. Everybody's going to country.
They're all country.
Oh,
Yeah, they're-
she's gone country. Look at them boots.
Well, listen, man. Hey, congrats on a great career.
Yeah,
man. We
dude.
always
Thank
wanted to have you on. I'm glad we finally
Yeah.
did it. And
You're hard to play against,
all the
man.
best to whatever's next, man. Take
Yep.
your time. You
Take
can do
your
whatever
time.
you want. You know
Chill
that.
out, baby. Drink that bourbon. Do your thing, and send us a video you singing at a
No shit.
bar or something. I'm gonna see this shit.
I will. I'll put it on. Thanks for having me, boys. I really
All
appreciate
right,
it.
Cal.
No
Go do
problem,
your thing,
man.
buddy. Thanks again, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate
care.
it. See you, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
Ciao.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street, right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. We're back on the show. That was Cal Clutterbuck, baby. Great conversation with Cal. Those Islander teams were cool too, man. They had some
Yeah, they
cool
had
ass
some good
dudes
teams.
on
Yep.
their team. I don't think we ever really learned a ton about them over the years because they were always good, but they kind of just like did their thing. But they had a good group of
They were
players
entertaining.
that were around each other and played together for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Matt Martins of the world,
They had some shit kickers.
the
over there.
Anders Lee, the Josh Baileys. Obviously Tavares, Nick Leddy was there for a long time. They've had a lot of good dudes, man. Clutterback. I'm forgetting a bunch of guys, obviously.
But they also
Brock Nelson.
had Trevor Gillies.
We talked about him.
They had Eric Goddard back in the day. Ooh, man, they had some tough guys, man.
Hell yeah.
Tough guys.
Well, even going back to the 80s, they had tough guys.
Yeah.
When
The
they
same
won,
with
do you know they
Clutterbuck.
won Stanley Cups in the 80s
Yeah,
and stuff?
Florida.
Did you know that?
Yep. Until the Oilers and Mark Messier
Woke
and the
up.
boys showed up. It's like, what's up, baby?
What's
It's
up?
our turn now, homie.
What y'all gonna do?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Shit.
You ain't gonna do shit. And then another dynasty happened.
Mhm.
We're gonna see a dynasty with Florida, though.
I think the Indiana Fever have a chance
Don't-
to be a dynasty.
on.
I hope so.
If something pops up on Twitter, we'll talk about it.
No,
okay?
I'm
But,
just
like,
saying,
who gives a fuck?
Caitlin's probably. You think she practices a lot?
Yeah, I think she's a freak. I like Sidney Crosby, like McDavid. I think she's obsessed with the game. I do, but
Like she do her.
like she do or might do well. I don't know. I'm not chirping him.
I guess.
How about Travis Hunter? Got married.
I know he did. He gave her a new
She
G
can-
wagon for her
I know. Oh,
wedding.
Poor guy.
At the wedding.
I think he's a sweet guy. I just think
His
the-
wedding looked like a prom.
They're like, Cam, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how she is. I'm like, I could see video and know a little bit where she's not getting attention.
He protects her.
Like I just hope everything works out because he
He
seems like a sweet
Protects
guy.
her.
He seems like a sweet.
Did his wedding
guy.
look like a prom, basically?
Yeah, I like him. I'm rooting for Travis Hunter.
Not a good
100%.
route runner right now. Steven Jackson was involved in the Malice at the Palace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I saw that documentary. It's hardcore, man. I guess you
Yeah.
felt bad for the Pacers on that because,
You did?
yeah, I did. They were really good, and that they all got fucking suspended, dude, and they ruined their whole fucking career.
and that was Reggie Miller's
Yep.
last run.
Yeah,
too.
he was
So
kicking ass,
Steven Jackson
you know,
came on, or Reggie Miller came on Steven Jackson's podcast. It's a great podcast. And he apologized to Reggie for doing that, and they both were crying and stuff
about
like
the
that.
mouse and
Yes.
yeah, that's a big
You should
deal.
watch that. You know what? There's
I will actually.
the
That's
NBA
interesting.
players have the best podcast, dude. Like
Yeah.
the former players. It's kind of similar to what we do, dude.
Yeah.
It's like they shoot the shit.
Yep.
They bring players on. They're just. It's
I listen to
really
a lot of it.
entertaining.
I listen to a lot of it, especially when they talk about Larry Bird and old school guys.
Yeah.
The new guys I don't know, but they go back and like, this fucking Bird would fucking chirp me so bad.
Yeah.
He'd look at me like, look at it. Why don't
Yeah.
you get that white boy on me? You
Mhm.
got a white, just whatever. It's just the funniest thing, man. Phil Robertson died, actually. I like him, man.
Is
From Duck Dynasty. He's the old school guy. He was backed up
Was he an
quarterback for,
evangelist?
he's a Christian. I think he wasn't, and then he turned into it. I don't know. I thought of all the
Backup
guys
quarterback for who?
for Alabama to
Get
Terry
outta
Bradshaw.
here.
I think was it Alabama, Matty?
Bradshaw didn't play at Alabama.
Then okay,
Alabama.
something like that, Matty. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I like Duck Dynasty for a bit there, and Phil he was
Okay,
cool.
Never watched it. So huge. Let me just tell
These
you
guys
this.
make more money than you do.
Okay, it's just so huge.
Way more
This
money.
is huge.
Why don't you talk about your football career again? it just had that.
Okay.
He's kind of cool.
So
I don't
huge.
know.
I ain't watching.
Connor's running for president in Ireland.
that. Is he?
McGregor.
Okay, cool.
Is that not cool enough for you?
No, that's fine.
What do you want to talk
I
about?
want to
You?
tell the people that I'm opening back up our voicemail. If you want to have messages sent to the
Okay.
and send them to us.
Yeah.
Because we got chirp for it before, and then now everybody's doing
Let's
it
do
again.
Okay, so what is the number?
I'm gonna post it.
Okay.
So follow me on Instagram.
I'll retweet it. Yeah.
And Cam will, I'm sure he will.
Right.
Cam social
Posting
media.
something like that.
Here, Cam social media is just.
I got more followers than you do.
It's just.
And he posts 50,000 times a day and no one even follows him.
Crickets.
Yeah, because I don't try. I don't try hard with it. You know what I mean? I don't.
Firstform.com/Cam and use our link and use it today, man. We appreciate all the support we get from First Form. And get their apparel, too. We talked all about all their stuff.
I got this on right now.
Exactly.
I mean,
I love it. I love it.
So.
And Hat Launch does a lot of their T-shirts and stuff like that, too. Their hats, hatlaunch.com. Say hi to Danny Boy and all the whole crew over there, man. Look for our newest video coming out soon with Hat Launch. Illinois Recovery Center. If you or somebody is in need, do not wait. Do not waste time. Take advantage of the loved ones that you have in your family, man, and take advantage of the Illinois Recovery Center that is here for you and wants to help you. Illinois Recovery Center. That's right. Bolt Sports, baby. Take your game to the next level. One dangle at a time, baby. Get that dangler.
Keep up with the pace,
Improve your stick handling. Do it at Bolt Sports. Check out their incredible Instagram and their website, boltsports.ca. Bolt Sports. Say hi to Sam.
Sammy boy, what up, baby?
True Float. Take your river game to the next level, baby, with True Float. Love our friends over there at True Float. Get those coolers. Put your logo on the cooler. Get the heated chairs. They got so much stuff, man. Tumbler cups, everything. Yeti's a bunch of...
Passive.
Oh, man. True Float is...
Not compared to, of course, those guys up in Alberta, baby.
True Float is a bunch of shit kickers.
Shit kickers. Alberta shit kickers.
Hell
Yep,
yeah.
damn right.
Jersey Generator. Put that logo on a jersey, too. Show up to the rink in style with Jersey Generator. Check out their Instagram, too. Jersey Generator. We love everybody at Jersey Generator.
I love
Shilly
our jerseys.
Plastering. Get plastered with Shilly Plastering. God, this seltzer is just making me...
Jesus. No wonder you're talking.
It's a
hurry
holiday.
the fuck
It's a
up.
holiday today. Third generation.
This is where Andy gets a drink.
On the holiday?
On the holiday, he's got to stay here. He's got work to do at home. No wonder you're dragging ass.
Mom and dad.
He's the mom and dad of the house.
I am.
Award-winning. It's all good.
Oh, my
It's
God.
2 awards. Better than 1.
Third generation company, Shilly Plastering. Family-owned business since 1950, man. That is just incredible. They plaster commercial pools, residential pools, as well as home plastering. So if you need plaster work on your home, you can call them and they'll come out and help you with that. Ryan Shilly's a fucking shit.
My boy right there, baby. Love you guys out there, man. You do
the
damn
only
good work.
authorized PebbleTech applicator in the Midwest. Comes with a 5-year warranty. Love that. Team of professionals, craftsmen. Turn your backyard into an oasis.
Yeah.
Get plastered with Shilly Plastering, baby.
Never
Blue Note
wanted you guys.
Roofing, 314-920-5713. David Novak standing by. He's busy as can be, but he's got time for you, and that's what separates him from the
Get
other
that new
companies.
roof. There's been a lot of hail, a lot of damage. Get it done.
Soffit, fascia,
Fascia.
gutters,
Fascia.
siding.
They do it all. They do it
baby.
all.
Cam at Bellman, you get no,
Swinging dicks.
but you do get great customer service.
There it is, Andy. Just keep it simple, baby.
You
Just
get
keep
great
it simple.
customer service.
See, when you try too hard,
all
it just
located
doesn't work.
where?
Troy, Missouri.
Buick GMC on one side of the street, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side.
I need a new truck.
And you do get sushi and flavor water.
God.
Oh shit! Is that your
It's
Ed
funny.
McMahon
It's
line?
funny. I got a fake laugh a lot on the radio and shit.
You
know?
do?
Kind of.
Oh God!
You know.
That's
I don't
awful.
fake laugh here. No.
Okay, so
But
listen,
what?
they're gonna hear the show tomorrow. Tonight is Florida,
Florida.
Carolina.
Yes.
Who wins?
Carolina.
Oh my God!
Some bitch. Some bitch. No Mikula, no Reinhardt. No Greer. That's fine.
Carolina forces a game 5.
Carolina forces a game 5.
Okay.
Forces a game
All right,
5.
we'll see how it goes. Hey,
Love
happy
you guys.
holiday to
Love you
everybody.
guys.
Maddie, everybody here at Half Coast Studios,
Love all you.
man.
Maddie's
And,
like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I know. We've got
Yeah,
great
he's got shit to
episodes
do,
coming
too.
up all year long.
Love you guys.
On the Chemistry Podcast,
See you, dudes.
baby.
Yerk! Let's go! a shit kicker, threw bombs in the lead. Told Dragon Crew there's no time for fatigue. And he's a shit talker, stirring up the show. Never played a shift, but he's ready to go. Mic check, 4 check, here comes show.